All right, here we go. I think we're ready to get going here. Hello, everybody. This is Napa Fan here, and this is the 2019 edition of the NNSCRA Hallowdega special event. We are so glad you are here on October 30th here on this Wednesday night. It is the biggest NNSCRA 2003 online race of the year, at least in my humble opinion, and we are definitely looking forward to seeing what unfolds here tonight. I am joined alongside Joe Rutkowski and, for the first time, Chris Dollerton. Guys, it's going to be a wild night. 94 laps. We got 3 stages. First 2 stages, each 20 laps long. Then the final stage of 54 laps. We saw a lot of cautions here last year. Joe, you saw what happened last year. Do you think we're going to see something very similar here tonight?
It is very, very possible we will see something like that here tonight. Maybe with the added benefit of stages and drivers knowing there will be yellow flag coming up, they might race a little cleaner, considering stages don't really mean much towards them. But it's gonna be a crazy one. Hallowdega, this is a one-time event. You know, once a year it comes. No points on the line. It's nothing like in terms of a series or rather. This just go out and win. So these drivers are gonna be going crazy just trying to get that done.
And I'm joined alongside Chris Dollerton as well, who will probably not be able to be with us the entire night, unfortunately, but you saw that car that just went by. He's doing the hot lap right now, and originally Seth made a car thanking me, and thanking all of us, actually, for broadcasting this event. Unfortunately, it didn't go through correctly, but we do have all the schemes for all of the 34 starters. We will have the starting lineup pop up here soon as well for you guys, so you know who's in what car. But Chris, you're out there on the track right now. How do you think these drivers are going to maneuver around this place, knowing that there are 33 other drivers along with them in tonight's event? And already our first technical difficulty. I don't think he heard me there, but either way,
I don't think it's set up to the car quite properly.
Interesting, but either way. We'll have Chris Dollerton on board with us here soon. He's out there on the racetrack and unfortunately can't hear us. We have a little bit of a radio malfunction. We'll just go ahead and say that. But drivers are currently in the drivers' meeting right now. They should be coming out here shortly. You're still in the happy hour session technically, but that is for an NNSCRA 2003 online event. That is the drivers' meeting, so all the drivers being debriefed about the rules on the racetrack. And for someone who has done a couple of races myself, not too many, I'm far from being an expert at this. Basically what they're going over is making sure you drive in a straight line. If a wreck happens, you have to decide who takes the blame for it. There's a lot that goes on behind these online races that you guys really don't get to see. So it's going to be interesting to see how it all shakes out. But sure to be a wild one here from Talladega. We will say, and we'll go ahead and show you guys the starting lineup right there. On the left of your screen, pole sitter tonight will be Jessica Shelton. In the number 9 machine, Tyler Mallon, who, if you remember last year, had quite an interesting race after he got glitched out, basically. Rob Evans popped right into his pit stall and knocked him out of the race early on last year. Hopefully that does not happen to him again. He's going to be starting second. Of course, Seth Cole, who is the admin for this race, going to be starting third. Johnny Gardner and last year's winner, James Shelley, in the top 5. Joe, out of those top 5 drivers alone, who do you think has the best shot at winning here tonight in the 5th edition of NNSCRA Hallowdega?
Well, the first one we look inside that top 5, James Shelley won the race last year, so I think he's definitely going to be one of the big ones to beat. But also I'm looking at the guy starting second, Tyler Mallon. Before he had his issues last year on pit road with the whole warping glitch, Mallon's one of the best cars. He'll have his say as well, and maybe Seth can get it done in his own race. That would be pretty cool, wouldn't it?
It definitely would. Of course, some guys I'm really looking forward to seeing out there. And of course, for those of you who follow my channel, you know these names pretty well. I'm going to start out with some guys who are relatively new to Napa Fan. Of course, that's relative. Carter Freeze and Roger Ray have been racing a couple of years on the offline stuff. They're in this race. They've been big online races for a while. They were both in this race last year. Andrew Miller as well, who I've actually seen win a race online before. And I cannot go throughout this race without mentioning my man Garrett Sonor. Great to see him in this race. For the longest time, he was the all-time winningest driver on my offline stuff. That was recently taken away from him over the summer, but I haven't seen him win anything with my own eyes since November of 2017, almost 2 years ago. Maybe he'll get the win here tonight, but we'll have to see. We have to be neutral. We can't be biased towards any drivers in this race, but I think it'd be pretty cool to see Garrison North get the race victory here tonight, just saying. But either way, it's going to be a great race. As you see, we have 34 starters. Not everyone qualified, of course, with it being a super speedway race. Some people want to kind of stay in the back, so they just skip qualifying altogether. Guys who did not put a time in include Tristan Allen driving the number 20, Carson Gum in the 19, myself there in the 777. We actually only have 33 starters because, actually we have 32 because me and Joe Rakowski are not actually in the race. You see him there on the side there. That is not completely accurate there. Matthew Rodriguez in the 57 is going to be starting in the 26th position. Phil Parker, Corey Williams, Nick Gunther, Levi McIntyre, Michael Norman, and David Alvarez all in the back of the field. None of them completed a time in qualifying.
I'm back.
So Chris Dollishin is here, so I'll ask you a question. While you're out there on the racetrack, probably noticed some things about the racetrack. So my question, if I can remember it correctly, was... how do you think these guys are going to maneuver around this place knowing that there are 31 other drivers racing along with you here at the Hallowdega Superspeedway?
Well, I mean, of course, I'm not going to be out on the racetrack during that portion, but I've noticed how the cars, they're really going to want to pull to the inside when in the turns, so these guys are going to have to be able to counteract that if they're driving the high side. It seems like I got a lot of speed coming off the high side. So the high side may be the line to go with tonight. But yeah, with 32 drivers out there tonight, it is going to be crazy. One of the bigger fields we've had for this race and for just in general races on this channel. So we're in for a good one tonight.
That we are, and I'd like to mention drivers are still in the drivers' meeting, so they are not out on the racetrack quite yet. So
I may be in that meeting too.
Yes, and Joe Rakowski is kind of our guy kind of listening into race control, which is Seth Cole for this race here tonight. So he's going to be doing a lot tonight. Give him a huge hand because he's got a lot on his plate. He's going to be calling the race and listening to Seth and listening to race control, bring guys into the room to interview once we get to that point in the race. So he's going to be doing a lot for us here tonight. So give a huge applaud to Joe Rakowski there, who's with us for the second straight year. Great to have him back. And, of course, Chris Dalton, great to have you. First time I've ever done anything with you. First time I think I've even heard your voice. But, hey, I know we're going to have a great night, and it's going to be fun watching who gets it done here in Hallowdega. We're just mainly waiting at this point for these guys to get out of the drivers' meeting, and then we'll be ready to go for the 2019 edition of the NNSCRA Hallowdega special event. So, we see the starting lineup right there. We're going to keep that up for you guys so you know who's in what car. Last year was won by James Shelley, made a last lap pass on Zach Buchanan. I'm going to ask you guys, what are the odds we're going to see a last lap pass again in this race here for Hallowdega?
I think it's definitely a possibility. Last lap passes, Hallowdega. I feel like they kind of go together like bread and butter. So I think you can. I don't want to say expect it, but it's possible. It's in the realm of possibility.
And Chris, I know you've been in a few of these races before, and you've probably been involved in some of this stuff. What do you think we're going to have at the last lap of this race here at Hallowdega?
Well, it's definitely going to come down to how many we have left after towards the end of the race. If you have a fairly good field, anybody has a shot to win it. You can make a pass, and you're in 10th on the last lap. You could still win the race. If you're 15th, maybe a bit of a long shot, but you can still win the race. There's a small amount of cars at the end of this race. A train could be made. Like you've seen the trains in a real life NASCAR at Daytona and Talladega. That could be formed, and that could just have the leader be a sitting duck. Or you could have a big pack where anybody could have a chance to win it. So what it's going to come down to is in the final stage, how many we have left. That's what it's going to come down to if we're going to have a last lap pass or not.
And of course, we did not have too many guys last year at the end of that race because we had close to 10 or 11 cautions throughout the 94-lap event. We're hoping for a little bit less than that. But we do have something actually going on. Happy hour going on. These guys getting one last chance to tune their race cars for the big race. So we'll have to see how it all shakes out here. Of course, sometimes they don't take it too seriously. I'll let you guys know that right now. But get a look at some of these great paint schemes. I know Seth Cole made a lot of these. I I think Kyle Keefe was another guy who made a lot of them. I was talking with Andrew Miller, who is one of the participants here tonight last night, and he was mentioning that Kyle Keefe made some of these schemes, but definitely a lot of great schemes, some of them Halloween themed, some of them not. We have some that are supporting Stand Up to Cancer as a great cause. I believe Shane Lake is one of the guys who has one of those schemes, so it's definitely pretty cool to see that. But this is what we're going to see in the race. We are currently in happy hour right now, and I'll put the ticker up so you guys are aware that it is happy hour. We'll get rid of the qualifying results for the moment, so we got a nice looking screen right here, but yeah, a lot of guys out here getting prepared for the draft. Last few minutes of practice here at the Hallowdega Super Speedway for these guys to get ready and go racing 94 laps like I mentioned. I don't know if I ever got a number for the fuel window, but they will have to be making some pit stops here tonight. And I've done some NNSCRA races myself. It is difficult to come in and out of pit road. It really is. So these guys, I give them a lot of credit for being able to do it the way they can, but it is difficult to do, and they're going to have to do it multiple times here tonight as well. So I'm going to ask you guys, how do you think pit strategy in pit road is going to affect tonight's race?
If I'm being honest, I don't think it's going to affect it at all, because I think we're going to get yellows to where they won't have to come down under green. And obviously at Hallowdega, track position doesn't really mean much. Maybe for some drivers, you're going to want to come down under every yellow or every chance you get, because maybe your strategy is to lay in the back. I was talking to Roger Ray, one of the drivers, earlier today, and he said, yeah, a few of us are going to team up and just stay in the back. The problem is, if too many people stay in the back, is that then the front. So, you know, it's kind of some games are going to be played during this race for sure.
They definitely will. And of course, we are still in the happy hour practice session. These guys
would like to say announcement coming from race control around 8:15 Eastern. Green flag time is planned. So
all right, 8:15
for that.
I got 8:13, so in 2 minutes we'll be getting the race beginning. Hope you're enjoying the pre-race show. At 30 viewers at one point. Thank you to everyone who's going to be tuning in tonight. We greatly appreciate it, especially the guys on the NNSCRA side appreciate it. This is a huge event for them, and we want to definitely thank Seth Cole and everyone on the NNSCRA Sports and Gaming channel team for putting this event on for the 5th straight year, and I'd like to thank him for letting me be part of this race. I'm not the best commentator in the world, but I'm honored for them to want me to return for 2019. I know I had such a blast doing this last year. I know Joe did as well, and it's awesome to have Chris Dollison alongside us for this year's event too. So we'll be getting started here in just about a minute. I'm looking forward to it, and it's going to be a long night. It's going to be a spooky night. That's what it says in the logo. So it's going to be a fun one here for the 5th annual NNSCRA Hallowdega special event. So we haven't made our official picks yet. I'm going to go ahead and let you guys make your official picks in this race here tonight. Who is going to be in victory lane at the end of the night here at Hallowdega?
My pick is Zach Buchanan. The man was leading on the last lap last year. Had probably the best car. Saw some of the best blocking in an online race I've ever seen from Zach Buchanan. So I think he'll be the one to beat. Some redemption in mind for Zach Buchanan here today.
If I'm going to go with someone for a pick, and also a quick tidbit. I was originally going to have to leave the broadcast early, but whatever happened that I had to do has now been canceled. So I will be here the whole way.
That's great.
So, if I'm going to go with a pick, I really like Charles Belding. I really like what he brings to the table. And as we're preparing, actually, to get ready to go green here, as we're about to go to race. But yeah, Charles Belding's my pick. He has really shown a lot of... He won a test race for this race earlier this week or last week, so I'm excited to see what he can do tonight, hoping he can stay clean and get it done.
All right. You know, it's hard. I'm not too knowledgeable on the online stuff, but I did do this race last year. I know one guy who was really strong in last year's race was Tyler Mallon. Unfortunately got taken out early. I don't think that's going to happen to him tonight. My pick to win, Tyler Mallon in the 08 machine. But it truly is anybody's race here at Hallowdega, and the cars are lining up down the backstretch ready to get this event started, with Jessica Shelton starting on the pole position. Tyler Mallon on the outside pole. We'll pull up the starting grid once again for you. It is Jessica Shelton alongside Tyler Mallon in row number 1, Seth Cole and Johnny Gardner in row number 2, James Shelley and Cody Lamas in row number 3, Andrew Miller.
Start your engines!
And the command has been given to fire the engines, and they are going to get going here. Andrew Miller and Cole Baker in row number 4, Charles Belding and Austin Ogo in row number 5. Row number 6 sees Dylan Poteet and Emmanuel Hartnett. Row number 7, Zach Buchanan and Shane Lake. Row number 8, Garrett Zenor and Sonny Tallman. Row number 9, Andrew Lemeke and Kyle Keith. Row number 10, Rob Evans and Zach Stoltz. That's the top 20 starting positions. You see the rest of the starting positions down below. It looks like Jessica Shelton will be relinquishing her spot as the pole sitter to fall to the back of the field, leaving Seth Cole to lead the field of the green flag for the 5th annual NNSCRA Hallowdega special event. Guys, are you ready to have some fun here tonight?
Oh,
absolutely.
For sure.
Well, the pace car has pulled off. Very interesting starting order here. Some guys are still getting organized. They might not take the green right here. I'm not entirely sure if they will because Carter Friesen is falling back. Remember, the restart zone is right before the start-finish line. I believe they will be going to take the green flag. They are. Let's have some fun. Happy Halloween, everybody. NNSCRA Hallowdega is green from Talladega.
Great job for Mallon right out of the gate.
See them get single file down there. Now Seth Cole pulling out. I don't know if that's a move for the lead. It seems side draft in the 08 down the backstretch. Has help from last year's winner, James Shelley, up the outside. Big bump there. And Miller
Johnny
coming to the
Gardner.
inside.
Johnny Gardner says, no, I don't want any part of this. He's going to fall way to the back of the group as this pack up here looks to get something going early. Mallon leads out of 4th.
I see that separation as well. Cars that want to just race all night long and cars that are just saying, hey, we'll lay back. We don't want to be involved in anything early on.
Well, lap number 1 will be led by Tyler Mallon. Got the jump on the outside ahead of Seth Cole. Andrew Miller right behind him. Number 28, Charles Belding, your pick, Chris, to win this race right there in the 3rd position. Cody Lamas on the inside. And Seth Cole in a side-by-side battle with, I believe that is the number 31 of Dylan Poteet. And Belding
shuffled out of line.
shuffle out of line, and would imagine that the double yellow line rule applies here as well for safety purposes. And Belding is going to fall to the end of the pack after he got shuffled out of line there on lap number 2. Mallon continuing to lead here at Talladega. Andrew Miller with a run to the inside. No help on the inside lane for him. Cody Lamas on the outside. And the 48 looking to take the lead away from Tyler Mallon.
That was great coordination on the outside. Look at that 48, a big push from behind from Dylan Poteet. And 48 leads the 2nd lap.
Great run there for Cody Lamas, help from Dylan Poteet. Right behind Dylan Poteet, it's your pick to win this race, Joe. Zach Buchanan in the number 4. And Andrew Lemke in the number 64. Right behind him on the outside lane, Zach Schultz in the 1. That outside lane seems very strong right now. But knock on wood, and you got to knock on wood pretty hard for this race whenever you're making a compliment. They're doing pretty good out there. Nothing too crazy right yet. Only 2 lanes of traffic, so hopefully it stays that way for a majority of the race here tonight. Of course, we're definitely going to have a wreck at some point. But I definitely applaud these guys for keeping it together, not acting as wild as they were in last year's event. Cody Lamas going to come around and lead lap number 3.
You say that about them not being crazy, but that was kind of how this race started last year. They kind of started out nice and calm, but then we kind of got further in. Once we had one crash, we had about 15 other crashes. I hope that doesn't happen this year. I hope you're right. We didn't jinx it. But there's some great side-by-side racing happening at the front. There's 2 rows, but they're very equal, and no one can really gain the advantage. Mallon is running side-by-side Lamas down the backstretch.
Of course, Andrew Miller, a really good pusher there on the 47. Right behind Andrew Miller, it's the number 11 machine of Cole Baker. He's another great NR driver. And there's so many guys who just have such a good resume that they could easily be a surefire pick to win this race. It's really difficult to make one pick. But I wouldn't be surprised if any of these guys running up front right now ended up going to victory lane here tonight. They all want it, I can tell you that much. But right now, it's early on. We still have ourselves 90 laps to go. You don't want to take it a little too violent this early on and cause an issue that takes you out of the race.
I was about to mention, it looked like the outside lines seemed to stay together better, but now it just looks like they've gotten disorganized compared to the inside line. And it looks like there's a third line being kind of formed up there among a couple cars. Can't quite tell who they are.
That's Zach Buchanan and Zach Schultz on the outside. Garrett Sinor, the number 16. Also in that outside lane, trying to form a lane up there. This is very similar to real-life Talladega-style racing. You got those lines, and everyone's trying to get into the fastest one. Dylan Poteet up high in the number 31. Cody Lamas in the middle. Shane Lake a little bit off the inside right there. He's got the 55 of Nick Gunther behind him. Shane Lake went up high, and we're starting to see a single-file line on the inside.
Everyone trying to get down into that fast lane. Some cars trying to abandon the bottom to get something going, but right now you can see that second pack actually kind of caught up. A lot of the cars that are starting to lay back, they're coming back into it in a single file group. Just kind of, they're still laying back. They're not getting up there and racing, but they're staying clinged on, and they're staying in that draft.
For some drivers who kind of are hanging in the back, pole sitter Jessica Shelton in the number 9, Seth Cole, who took the green flag, and the number 25 also hanging back in there. I know at the beginning of the race we saw Carter Friesen spin off. He did not get caught up with the pack. He has lost the draft, and is actually now a lap down, unfortunately. Yeah. And with the way those numbers are, I don't blame him. Sorry, I had to make a reference to the numbers being on the corner panel. It drives me nuts. It really drives me nuts.
Looks like the inside line is the way to be right now, as the outside line got really disformed there. As soon as I say that, here comes another attempt. Here.
That is the number 43 machine, R.J. Bishop on the outside. He's got Sonny Tallman right behind him. They're trying to get some in the work up there. Number 24, Phil Parker as well. I'm starting to get some in the work up there with Rob Evans also helping that outside lane, and the number 51 of Corey Williams. But Tyler Mallon's led the most laps so far in this race. Andrew Miller in second. Cole Baker, Emmanuel Hartnett, and Austin Ogo in the number 14 running in the 5th position. What a move there out of Nick Gunther. Went right to the outside and return number 1. Trying to get to the outside of Austin Ogo. Cannot get the run quite yet, but he might get it here with help from the 43.
He's going to get some side drafting off the side there of Ogo, and it looks like it worked for a moment, but it looks like that inside line is going to kick back in here, and Gunther will have to fall back in line.
I'd like to say that while they're racing crazy and there's some big moves, they're racing really clean.
Oh, Lord! That's Rob Evans in the 65. He went around off of Corey Williams, and Dylan Poteet's around Seth Cole, Shane Lake, Charles Belding, and a wreck in turn number 3 here at Talladega.
We got Gardner's on its lid. Now gets it righted. Shane Lake, we were talking about him earlier. He looks to be done, guys.
That car is done. Shane Lake is probably going to get knocked out of the race after that.
My pick was involved. Belding fell to the back.
And we say all these drivers, they want to go fall to the back. But there's always a risk in that. It is more difficult to avoid an accident if it happens. You got to drive through that if you fall to the back. And with the speeds we get here at Talladega, lots of times they do not avoid it. Another one of the stand-up to cancer cars. That is unfortunate. It's Johnny Gardner in the 44. Rob Evans was the first one to go around. We'll have to review the accident and see what happened. Tyler Mallon is the race leader. Andrew Miller second and Cole Baker third. Our first caution of the night, lap 8 of 94 here at Talladega. Gives a little bit of time to breathe here after that wild first few laps here in the 5th annual NNSCRA Hallowdega.
I just say I'll take blame for that. I was about to mention how they're racing nice and cleanly, so maybe my bad there.
You didn't knock on wood. That's what happened.
What I'm seeing here is it looks like coming through into 3. I know Rob Evans was the first car I saw spinning. Corey Williams giving him a heck of a push into 3. I think he's just gonna get loose here as Rob, and he gets down into the 20. And it's just on from there in the 65. Everyone else was able to save it. And then 31 of Poteet got loose and started spinning. Gardner had it missed originally.
I was going to point out Johnny Gardner. He did a great job. And then he got taken out right at the end of it. And of
course, we'll review the crash on the broadcast end once we get the pit stops completed here. But I want to make sure we focus on this first before we review the accident. Garrett Sonora up there in the first pit stall. We'll follow with him. Tyler Mallon wins the race off. You guys did stay out. Emmanuel Hartnett, Zach Stoltz, and Zach Buchanan. There's Rob Evans in the 65 and Johnny Gardner in the 44. They'd already come down the pit lane to repair damage. Tyler Mallon won the race off the pit lane. We're going to go ahead and see what happened to the number 65. He was the initial driver to go around. And we'll get it set here so that I can actually click the buttons. But Rob Evans initially going around in the number 65 and then sliding up into the field, triggering a semi-massive accident. It's going to knock out a couple guys, so we'll probably have some interviews here. But this is the replay. I'll keep the replay controls up so that you are aware that it is a replay. And it looks like Tristan Allen got into him, sent him up into Corey Williams, and then all heck breaks loose after that. Seth Cole. And that's where Shane Lake gets his damage. He ran right into that 65 head on and then came up right into his teammate Johnny Gardner and then flipped upside down. A tough break there for Shane Lake in the number 3. We'll review it one more time for you guys. We'll follow with the number 3 of Shane Lake. And he tried to avoid it, and he got loose on the apron and ended up hitting Rob Evans there. A lot of other guys involved. Jessica Shelton got spun around. Dylan Poteet as well. That is the Pepsi machine of Kyle Keefe. He also got spun around there, and Seth Cole with damage in the number 25. Let's just review one more time and see how Evans got spun around.
Sounds like Carter Friesen just got the lucky dog on this caution flag, so he'll be back in the lap.
And that would be correct.
Tristan Allen moved right up on Rob Evans there, as you can see. So we'll have to see how they call that or anything like that. I'm not sure how they will call it, if they will call anything. But Carter Friesen was a lap down.
They have deemed it a racing deal.
Right.
Warning was handed out. And that's all it is. The warning, I think, was given to Rob Evans, if I'm not mistaken, for pinching. I could be wrong on that. So that is going to be the call. Just a racing deal. It's just, it happens in these races. So that's what it's going to be. We only have one retiree from that, and that is Shane Lake in the number 1.
Yeah, so as Chris said, Shane Lake out of the race, unfortunately. We'll probably get him in here and interview him. It's a tough, tough break. You know, he had high hopes of possibly getting a good run here tonight, and his Hallowdega ends early. I really hate it for these guys to get knocked out early on. Such a highly anticipated event for these drivers. And they get knocked out pretty early. It's pretty unfortunate. Of course, Carter Friesen with the lucky dog. He was a lap down at the time of the accident. And I believe it was Rob Evans given a warning before the incident. Of course, I would like to mention, because it is an online race, it isn't as clear-cut to us on whether or not a driver is at fault for a wreck or not. The way everything moves around, you kind of see them glitch a little bit. We see some guys go up. They might not have gone up in real life, and it might have been the other driver coming down. So we do advise, don't make any judgments on whose fault it is from what you see, because it is difficult for us to tell at times due to the warping issues that occur in these online races. Emmanuel Hartnett is the race leader. Zach Stoltz on the outside for the restart. Remember, we have stages in this race. The first stage will end at lap 20, so we're going to have 9 laps to go in stage number 1. Zach Buchanan alongside Tyler Mallon, and we may possibly end up with a redo on the restart. Somebody just got spun around. That was Charles Belding off of RJ Bishop. I'm not entirely sure if they're going to allow him to get back in line or not.
No, we're going. No.
They are going to go ahead and go green. Back to racing here. Lap 12 of 94 in Hallowdega. Emmanuel Hartnett, the race leader here at Talladega.
Clean restart. Great restart for the A3 there. He actually jumped away and got clear.
Now, here's going to be the question, guys. After seeing that wreck and only having one guy wreck out, do these guys take it easy now and go till and then maybe pick it up at the end of the stage?
Well, as far as I know, there isn't any reward for winning the stage. Of course, it is a special event, no points involved. So I would imagine that, and these are these guys, so keep that in mind. But I would hope that they don't wreck before the end of the stage, and we can have a pretty clean rest of stage number 1 here. But it is what it is. Emmanuel Hartnett out front. Zach Buchanan trying to work the outside lane. Zach Stoltz right behind him. Cole Baker is there as well. Nick Gunther. But second place is a good pusher. Andrew Miller in the 47 running second right now, right behind Hartnett in the race lead.
Oh, man, Miller got nearly turned off the front bumper of the 14, but he kept it going.
He's really pushing the A3 as well. He's gave a huge boost out of the exit of the tri-oval there.
We are currently not able to get an interview with Shane Lake. Our current server is full. We will get that to you at some point.
Austin Ogo looking on Andrew Miller. I wouldn't do that if I were him. Gotta be careful at this point.
He's keeping me on my toes here. That was close.
It was. Tyler Mallon right behind him there in fourth. Side by side for fifth between Zach Buchanan and Tristan Allen. You got yourself Sonny Tillman there in the number 15 right ahead of Zach Stoltz. Tyler Mallon trying to work the outside lane here on the top 3, but Hartnett remaining out front. Andrew Miller, he's in a tight situation, and I've been in some of these races before, so I can definitely understand the experience here. You don't want the guy behind you to run over you, but you don't want to run over the guy ahead of you, so you got to hit that throttle in a certain way where you don't overdo it or underdo it. So I can imagine how difficult it is right now for Andrew Miller right there in the second position with Ogo pushing him and him pushing Emmanuel Hartnett. Mallon on the outside here trying to get a run, and looks like that outside lane may be forming a run here.
There, he's getting a really good push from Buchanan, but that kind of stifled right there as Buchanan had to snuff out a line for a moment. He is up to the third place car, Ogo, so we'll see what happens here.
Some would say that Miller's in between Ogo and a Hartnett base right now at the front of the field, but you can see Mallon making great progress. Two of our picks on the outside there, Mallon and Buchanan, they're working together, working good. They were working good last year as well. I think these two saw that last year and like, let's just do that again. We dominated last year. Let's just get back out front.
Now here's the question though, does Hartnett try to be defensive here at the end of this stage? Does he throw the block, or does he keep the momentum that he gets from Andrew Miller in order to keep ahead of the 08 of Mallon?
I say you gotta stay on the bottom here, just hug that line, hope for the best.
Shortest way around this track is that hugging that inside line.
Emmanuel Hartnett holding that inside line right now. Andrew Miller still behind him. Part of me wonders if the hole is still there at the end of the stage, if Andrew Miller's going to peek out ahead of Mallon and try to win the stage. I don't know if he's going to do that. Mallon definitely seems to have that outside lane to his advantage. He might get to the outside of Hartnett here soon. He's got a corner panel on him. He might get the entry in the 1 ahead of the 83.
Nope, not enough.
Buchanan's still pushing him there in the 08, but the two lines are equal right now, and Hartnett moving up in the 83. That was a risky move through the corner, but they avoided contact, and now Hartnett leading the outside lane as Miller holds the inside.
Yeah, they're starting to get racy at the front. Oh, look at
There's Mallon to the inside for the race lead on Emmanuel Hartnett. He got him right there, entering turn number 3. Had the run, and he's got the inside. And it looks like Mallon's going to have his friend and Andrew Miller pushing him. Of course, those two guys were 1-2 during the first green flag run in this race on that inside lane, and they're back at it on the inside. But Hartnett with a run up top with help from Zach Buchanan's going to lead once again on lap 16.
Big push, great push. Showing the strength of that 4 car, being able to push the 08 up there and then push the A3 right back by the 08.
Oh, they were getting a bit dicey there in the middle of the pack.
Some cars let off there. Get out of it.
Oh, and around! Garrett Sonor in the 16! In the outside wall he goes. There's James Shelley, last year's winner, and RJ Bishop. Cole Baker as well spinning. And we had it right on the 16 when it happened. I believe that was RJ Bishop that got into him. I don't think Sonor has much damage to his race car, but that might end the first stage a little bit early. I don't know if they're going to get back around.
Big time damage to the 71.
And that is such a tough break for last year's Hallowdega winner and James Shelley. We'll have to see what it looks like for him. Mallon wins the race back again. We'll try to locate the number 71 on the racetrack for you, and there is a ton of damage on that machine. That is such a heartbreaker. It doesn't look like it's going to be back-to-back Hallowdega wins for James Shelley.
Oh my goodness, you're going to want to see this replay.
And we will show you the replay after any possible pit stops. Actually might be able to go ahead and show you the replay right now and get you enough time get back to the pit stop. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Garrett Senor initially going around.
I'm going to chime in here real quick. I got word from race control. We are going to finish this stage under green. We are going to be 1 to green at the line. If anyone pits, they'll just have to get back around quickly. We will finish this stage under the green.
All right. So you heard that from Chris Dollerton. There is Garrett Senor right there. We are going to quickly see what happened to him to bring out the second caution of the night. But right here, and we're going to slow it down for you. RJ Bishop in the 43 is right behind Senor. Senor a little bit high on the racetrack. Bishop tries to move down low. And then he cut back up just a little bit. Probably got the air to mess with that 43, and around went Senor. And right there, James Shelley gets into the 16 as the 16 hit the outside wall, and a hard hit for Shelley. Levi McIntyre also caught up. And around going the 24 of Phil Parker. I don't think he hit anything. You see Cole Baker go around and RJ Bishop go around as well in the number 43. It's going to be difficult for him to keep up with the rest of the field after this one. Tyler Mallon, race leader. It does appear that he did come down the pit lane. So Jessica Shelton, the new race leader here.
And 9:25.28 stayed out on the racetrack there. 55 as well. Or 55 came down, excuse me. 28 stayed out. So
we do have one more retiree to announce. Johnny Gardner, the other Stand Up to Cancer car, has called it quits.
And of course, Johnny Gardner was involved in that first accident that occurred about lap 8 of the race, I do believe. Number 65 is also a lap down. Rob Evans was also involved in an accident. Everyone else is still on the lead lap even after that accident. But Mallon came down. Quite a few guys, I believe, came down. I don't know if any of you guys caught that. But see some of the guys. We got some new guys staying out here. Mallon and Miller came down. Tristan Allen came down. Lemke came down as well in the 64, I do believe. Hartnett came down. That was the first time he had pitted in the race. Somebody's on the apron. That is Corey Williams in the 51. He's going to peek out and...
Not going green. Stage will end under the yellow.
And they are going to call it right here. They are not lined up correctly. Jessica Shelton, I believe, is going to... not necessarily. I believe she's probably going to stay out to win the stage, but we have 1 lap to go in the stage. Nick Gunther coming down. Corey Williams, Dylan Poteet. Michael Norman is down as well. I've yet to mention Michael Norman in this race. And we have ourselves Johnny Gardner. So that's got to hurt for both of you guys. I know both of the Stand Up to Cancer cars were involved in an accident. What did you see from your perspective as all that unfolded?
I had the damn thing missed until I got it by Shane. I had it missed until he came up and got into me. All I'm going to say, this is unfortunate. I wanted to win this tonight so bad for my grandmother. It hasn't been a good 2 months, especially with what today is for me.
Yeah, we're sorry that you got knocked out there, but... definitely had fun watching you out there, and hey, there's always next year. Hopefully you can come back and show it to them next year for the 2020 edition of the event.
Hopefully so. We need this bad. We need to rebuild. Got to get that car back together again.
A tough break there for Johnny Gardner. But thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it.
Not a problem.
And,
Thank you, Johnny.
Yeah, hopefully you can check out the rest of the race and see who gets the race victory. It's going to be an interesting one from here on out. Of course, we're on the final lap of the stage. So stage number 1 looks like it's going to be going to Jessica Shelton, and worked out for Shelton after all. She won the pole. She fell back initially just before the beginning of the race. She did not want to be up front when the race began, and it looks like she's going to end up with a stage victory anyway. So we'll have to see how that translates later on in the event. Seth Cole will be second. Charles Belding is in third. Tyler Mallon, Andrew Miller, the top 5 in stage number 1.
I'm also going to point out we do have another retiree. That is the 48 of Cody Lamas.
Interesting.
If we want to move him down, I can move him down in here to as we're going to wrap up stage number 1.
Don't remember him. Was he involved in the first accident? I can't quite remember.
User was moved to your channel.
We got Cody Lamas in. I'm not entirely sure what happened. I can't remember if you were involved in the accident or not, but what was your perspective of all that was going on out there?
It was fine until my game decided to click retire when I wanted to click options, and so yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah. I had my mouse over options and it was highlighted, but then it somehow selected retire. So never had that happen before. So that's fun.
Well, that's
okay.
I'm cursed. I can never make it past lap 20 in this race.
Oh yeah. I hate that for you. That sounds like something I would do on a regular basis. I feel for you, man. I feel for you. That is unfortunate. Had some interesting retirees before in real-life NASCAR. I don't think that's ever been one of them. Really sorry to hear that, man.
Yeah.
But hey, at least you can still enjoy the race.
Yeah.
Maybe not enjoy it as much as you would out there racing on the racetrack, but either way, did a great job out there. It was awesome seeing you race on the racetrack, awesome seeing all these guys race on the racetrack, but hey, like I said, I mentioned the Johnny, there's always next year. You never know what this race is going to give you, so keep your hopes up. I think you're going to finish past lap 20 next year. I guarantee it.
Yeah, we'll see.
All right, Cody Lamas in the number 48. Technical issue to take him out of the race, unfortunately. So that leaves us with 3 retirees. Cody Lamas, Johnny Gardner, and Shane Lake all out of the event here. Lap 21 of 94. Chris, are we coming back to green, or are they going to add another lap here under caution? I believe we're going to have these guys come down.
We're going to get the one to green. I think we're going to get the one to green at the line. I could not be I may be mistaken, but I think that's what we're going to do.
I believe pit road is open now, so they're going to...
Yes, pit road is open, so we may be a couple laps from going back to green. Waiting to hear from race control on that.
First, this caution caused after RJ Bishop got into Garrett Senor to bring out the second caution of the race. Stage 1 has ended. Jessica Shelton, the race winner of stage number 1 here in the NNSCRA Hallowdega special event. And 3 guys staying out right now. I believe they've already come down the pit lane.
User was moved to your channel.
That is Tyler Mallon, Andrew Miller, and the number 20 machine of Tristan Allen. We now have Shane Lake in the booth, and you got the worst of that first accident, unfortunately. I know you were trying to avoid Rob Evans there, but what exactly happened as you spun there on the apron?
All I know is I was on the brakes hard. I was trying to avoid a 65. Next thing I know, he just came clean down into me, and as soon as I hit him, next thing I know, the back end of my car was airborne, and it was done.
I hate to see you get knocked out, especially considering you have to stand up to cancer. Great cause on both you and Johnny Gardner's machines, and both knocked out. But, hey, like I said, I've been telling everyone this. There's always next year, and definitely think you're going to do better next year. But thank you for joining us. We appreciate it, and thank you so much for being part of this event. Hated that it had to end like that for you, but hope you do well next year in this event, and great to have you back.
I appreciate you guys having this. I appreciate Wraith Energy, Off Axis Paint, and Ethan Gaming Group for jumping on the call, and of course, supporting my wife Heather with everything that she's done as well. So, let's see how the rest of this race plays out.
All right. Well, great cause you're supporting there, man. Definitely love to see that, and hope to see you have more success next year.
I'll be back. Don't worry about it.
Real quick, Shane, what room are you in?
I'm just going to jump out, dude.
Okay, got it.
User disconnected from your channel.
That was Shane Lake, and number 3 was involved in that first accident. Back on lap number 9. And I kind of hate it, I don't really know what to say to these guys if they wreck out, because I know what they're feeling. I know they're upset that they get knocked out, especially that early on. But, what else are you going to ask them? Except what they saw. I mean, hey, I'm kind of new to these online races. I've only done a few of them. I'm doing my best here. Thankfully, I got Joe and Chris helping me out here tonight. But we definitely appreciate all you guys tuning in tonight. All 35 of you. We've had quite a few guys tuning in. We greatly appreciate it, especially the NNSCRA appreciates you guys tuning in and supporting these guys. Put on some good racing action here from Talladega. Stage number 2, ready to get green. Tyler Mallon, Andrew Miller. I think I know what's going to happen here. Mallon's going to pull ahead and pull right down to the inside ahead of Andrew Miller. I think they got something going on in this race, guys. I think they might be working together at the end of this thing.
Well, they are in the
Tyler,
same race.
you better be careful not to get too far out. You know, in these races, you can be a sitting duck at any point if you pull out too far. Whoa!
Got cars shuffling around. See some dropping out there. Gonna go to the back of the field there, down the back.
That is Carter Friesen and Roger Ray back in the field. Lemke in the 64, peeking to the inside. Zach Buchanan trying to get a run on Cole Baker.
No one went with him. Nope.
And no one went with him. Tough break there for Buchanan, but Tyler Mallon, he's the guy to be here tonight, I think. He's definitely got this car tuned right, and he's definitely been in the lead for a majority of the event. And that's the best way to win the race, is actually stay in the lead. If you're not back in the pack, it's pretty easy to just stay up front here, especially this early on, and everyone's just trying to get to the end of the race. At least that's what I would hope these guys would be doing. Andrew Miller right there in second, Tristan Allen, Cole Baker, and Emmanuel Harton at the top 5. Jessica Shelton, Andrew Lemke in the number 64. Nick Gunther in the 55 moving up with Jessica Shelton, but he's going to think better of it. Come back down on the inside. Austin Ogo and Zach Stoltz on the inside. Buchanan going to make a 3 wide back in there, and Shelton's going to fall back in the number 9.
I would like to point out one thing about this top 5. They are all team cars. If you're here, they are all in the same room right now in our team speak. The top 5, all team cars. I don't think they have a specific name for this race, but that is something interesting to point out.
Yeah, so they all have communication with each other right now, and that definitely means that they are working together. So we'll have to see if this group of 5 is going to have anything for the end of this race compared to the rest of the field, or should I say, if the rest of the field is going to have anything for this top 5. But either way, they're starting to calm it down just a little bit. Single file, of course, some guys trying to peek out. Buchanan's been trying to make an outside lane work for a while. He's got Zach Stoltz ahead of him. I don't know if he's going to make it work there on the outside lane or not. Seth Cole is just outside the top 10 right now. And even though he got spun around, Garrett Tenor is just outside the top 10 as well in the number 16. Great run for him. As we're starting to see a bit of a gap right now from Seth Cole on up to back behind and Phil Parker and Corey Williams in the second pack.
Everyone's starting to just play it calm. They saw the 2 crashes happen, and I think they're saying, you know what, there's no point. It's early in the race. There's nothing. You don't win the race on lap number 26. You win on lap number 94. And I think they're just playing it smart right now. Just got to lay back and keep it alive for the end of the race.
And that's what these guys are doing. A little bit different than what we saw last year. Of course, we saw 10 or 11 cautions in last year's event. Right now we're lap 26, only 2 cautions so far, a lot better, and neither of those cautions were massive big ones. Of course, we had about 7 guys involved in the first one and about 3 or 4 guys involved in the second one. But thankfully, it has been a pretty clean race, all things considered, especially compared to last year. And right now, with the single file racing going on, I think these guys are content to race this thing out. Of course, some guys in the back want to make an outside lane work. Of course, you always want to test things out. You want to make sure that things work before you really need them at the end of the race. Corey Williams with help from Dylan Poteet on the outside of Zach Stoltz there. Seth Cole, Zach Buchanan. We're starting to see an outside lane form. We'll have to see if these guys can find their way to the front of the field. Buchanan is going to peek down low. Gunther moves up, realizes that Buchanan is not there anymore, and then peeks back down ahead of Austin Ogo. Hartnett's going to try on the outside. Don't think he's going to try to make a pass on these guys, though. As we mentioned, all these guys working together in the top 5.
It would be smart for the 83 to do that and try to keep it clean through this stage, too, as we're approaching halfway through the stage.
I'd like to point out quickly, just again here, last year's winner, James Shelley's taking his car to the garage. He is done for the night, so the 71 is out of the race.
That is unfortunate to hear. Probably have an interview with him eventually. We'll have to see. But tough break there for last year's race winner and James Shelley. Of course, James Shelley got that last lap pass on Jimmy Powell. Or no, he got the last lap pass on Zach Buchanan. Jimmy Powell helped him make that last lap pass in last year's race, but doesn't look like he'll be part of that this year. Buchanan around, and Charles Belding, and Seth Cole in the outside. Well, hard. Corey Williams is involved as well. Other guys, upside down goes Corey Williams. Stoltz is involved in the 1. Sonny Tallman and Jessica Shelton, and the cautions back out again the 3rd time tonight here at Talladega.
Looks like everyone got it back going, so looks like just about everyone may be able to continue. Oh, my pick. Lots of damage to the back end of Belding.
And it was Zach Buchanan who went around initially, I do believe. A lot of rear-end damage to Charles Belding's machine, and the number 28, Sonny Tallman involved, Jessica Shelton, Seth Cole.
Seth
And of
Cole
course,
said
Tyler
he's taking
Mallon.
responsibility for the wreck.
Don't believe I quite heard you there.
Seth Cole is taking responsibility for that.
Wow, interesting. So we'll have to see what happened to trigger that caution. Have to see if anyone comes down the pit lane here. A lot of guys still in this race, still with a shot. We've seen a lot of guys up front, in particular, those top 5. And there's some guys we really haven't even mentioned that much of in this race. Kyle Keefe, Phil Parker back in there, Levi McIntyre, Carter Friesen, Roger Ray, David Alvarez. Haven't even mentioned him yet. Matthew Rodriguez in the number 57. All kind of been hanging in the back. Number 19, Carson Gum. All been hanging in the back of the field all night long, and we'll have to see if they come through the field as this race goes along. We got pit stops going on right here. Lap 29 of 94. Tyler Mallon leading them down the pit lane.
Do you think Tyler's having flashbacks to what happened last year?
Well, I hope it doesn't happen to him again. This looks like it was the exact spot it happened last year. I'm sure he's probably thinking about that every single time he comes down the pit lane. So his stress levels probably are more on the pit lane this year than actually out on the racetrack. So
look right in front of him is Rob Evans, and that's the one he warped into last year. So.
Oh boy. Well, Rob Evans is still in this race, thankfully. And we're gonna have ourselves a little bit of shuffling going on right there. It looks like Emmanuel Hartnett won the race off the pit lane.
Well, we got trouble in the pits, guys. Matt Rodriguez towards the back.
Oh yes.
Had to back up. He had to back up. He got pinned in by the 1 and had to back up to his pistol. I don't know if the 57 drove through his pit or something happened there.
Oh, so what happened was actually on pit entry, Roger Ray and Carter Friesen slowed down. Ray had to check up, hit the wall.
Oh, wow.
I think that maybe distracted Rodriguez.
Yeah, you see ahead of it, there's Roger Ray. And Rodriguez in the 57. Yeah, he just completely missed it. He just completely missed his pit stall. And then Zach Schultz is behind him. He's got the pit stall ahead of Rodriguez. And he's pitting. And Rodriguez is stuck in between two guys who are pitting. It's Zach Buchanan and Zach Stoltz. Very, very interesting situation right there. But the driver won the race off the pit lane. Emmanuel Hartnett, Tristan Allen, I believe, got second. And Nick Gunther was third. We'll get you the official order. Let's go ahead and see what happened. And Zach Buchanan in the number 4 was the driver initially involved. It was the first guy I saw go around.
Yeah, it was a chain reaction type crash.
So we'll go ahead and show you what happened to Zach Buchanan, who was the runner-up in this race last year, almost got the race victory. He's still going to be in this race. He did not garner enough damage to knock himself out, thankfully. But we'll show you what happened here to Zach Buchanan on the outside lane. And it's kind of hard to tell from this angle, but it looks like Seth Cole just pushed into him a little too much. Remember that Joe said that Seth Cole took the blame for the accident. Nick Gunther also got clipped by Buchanan, and then Buchanan came down on Charles Belding. And I don't know if Gunther got involved. I don't think he did. I think he just drove through the grass and avoided all this, but then the 4 comes up on Seth Cole, Corey Williams in the 51. Remember, we saw him get involved in this one. Charles Belding came up on him. He got hit by the 28. Belding in the outside wall hard, and then the 51, I believe, eventually went upside down. Zach Stoltz in the number 1 also caught up. Jessica Shelton around. But you see the 51 going upside down right there, and the number... I think Corey Williams will be able to continue. I think all these guys will be able to continue. We will see if we have any retirees after this accident. Replay it one more time.
Yeah, and actually Nick Gunther spun after the fact on the apron. The apron's very slippery. He just kind of did a little spin drift into the grass in 3 and 4. We're coming green. They're on 3 and 4 right now in the backstretch.
And we'll quickly show you what happened here one more time. Zach Buchanan getting around. The only hit he really took was with Seth Cole, though. Dylan Poteet avoided it. And Tyler Mallon won the race back to the line. But your race leader is not Tyler Mallon. Andrew Lemke in the number 64. Don't know what happened to Emmanuel Hartnett and Tristan Allen. They might have missed the pit stall because I didn't quite see him on the pit lane. You see them in the back of the field. That's going to mess up with those 5 guys helping each other out. They're now all over the racetrack. But Andrew Lemke in the number 64, Tyler Mallon on the outside of him. Number 11, Cole Baker alongside Andrew Miller, Austin Ogo, and Phil Parker. Michael Norman and Garrett Sonor, Rob Evans, and Carson Gum, the top 10. Coming back to green, we have ourselves now 9 laps to go in stage number 2 here at Hallowdega.
I'd like to point out the stages as well. Seth Cole took into account caution laps in between stages, so actually stage 2 ends at lap 42 instead of lap 40.
All right. So with that in mind, we have 11 laps to go in stage
Just wanted
number
to point
2.
that out.
Unfortunately, I have to announce that I had a miscommunication with somebody. That thing I still have to do is on, so in about 20 minutes I will have to exit the broadcast. Hopefully I can get through this stage in 20 minutes. Well, with how these guys have been racing, who knows, as Mallon takes the lead on the outside.
Ooh, that was a bold move right there. Lemke had no help. Oh, whoa! Cole Baker! Oh, I thought he was going to do 3 wide. He's still looking. He thought better of it. Michael Norman behind him. Oh, brother. Got my heart rate jumping right there, and we're just beginning here. We're just about a third of the way through this race here at Talladega. And I don't think Cole Baker is satisfied with second position. There he goes. He's got a quarter panel to the outside. Wow. Help from Michael Norman on the outside of Tyler Mallon. He's going to try to take the lead away.
But now Tyler has Andrew.
And Tyler Mallon, Andrew Miller. Those 2 guys have been together. You find one, you'll probably find the other. Mallon on the inside, Andrew Miller helping him behind, Andrew Lemke in the 64 behind those guys on the inside lane. Charles Benling, remember, he had all that damage. He's inside the top 10. 5th in line on the inside. Garrett Sonor on the outside lane as well. Nick Gunther behind him. Michael Norman ahead of Sonor. But Cole Baker on the outside trying to take the lead away from Tyler Mallon.
I don't know if he's going to be able to. Andrew Miller has been a really good pusher for Mallon. Those guys are all team cars. As that team there has kind of broken up a bit, as only the 3 of them are up here inside this top 5.
Big push on the outside, trying to get back there, but like you said, the 47, the 08, they're just they're working so well together. It's just so hard. And how about the 28 still up here in the lead group? No rear end on that car, but he's in the draft and moving forward.
And of course, as long as you're in the draft, you're pretty much going to have a good day. And that outside lane fizzed out, and Michael Norman finding a hole where there practically isn't one. He was able to find one ahead of Charles Belding, but the outside lane fizzed out just like that. So Cole Baker now going to run in the 5th position. Michael Norman right behind. Charles Belding now in 6th. Sonor leading the outside lane in the number 16 with Nick Gunther behind him and RJ Bishop in the 43. Emmanuel Hartnett and Tristan Allen trying to move their way through the field. They're on the inside lane as well, but we're now back to seeing that single file line on the inside lane, led by the Pied Piper himself, Tyler Mallon.
Tyler's doing a great job. You can see that 4.7 right up his bumper. I mean, he's leaving no space in between the 08, the back of the 08 and the front of the 4.7. See them jostling back there.
Charles Belding right there. Whoa, boy. Zach Buchanan.
Oh, Buchanan.
And he got loose, hit the apron. No caution, no wreck.
Wow.
That was close right there. He cut it very close with Emmanuel Hartnett, and it looks like Buchanan's going to pay the price in the number 4 machine. Dylan Poteet and Nick Gunther on the outside right there. Hartnett trying to get the outside lane to work. Thankfully, they did not wreck. Remain green here at Talladega.
Miller kissed the apron through the front straightaway there. Really loose is that 47 behind the 08.
They don't want to do that in the trial for sure. That's probably the worst spot to do that.
Take a look at some of the guys in the back of the field. There is Roger Ray and Carter Friesen helping each other out. Seth Cole is lost the draft. Other guys, that is, I believe, David Alvarez in the 68, Levi McIntyre, Carson Gum, Rob Evans, Kyle Keefe. They've all been riding the back this entire race. Matthew Rodriguez in the 57, Phil Parker as well. RJ Bishop's there, Sonny Tallman. Haven't seen much of him. Garrett Sonor has also fallen back. He decided that pack was not worth it. Corey Williams, Jessica Shelton, Charles Belding has fallen off just a little bit as well. And then get to the lead draft.
Dylan Poteet is making some big moves. Cole Baker went to the outside. Poteet saw an opening on the bottom. And I think he passed about 3 cars on the bottom of the racetrack. Then looked to get to the outside again. That 31 has something for them.
Dylan Poteet doing a good job.
Well, there he goes.
Looks like he's got a train with him, too. Look at that.
Yeah, everyone's helping him right there. Nick Gunther, Emmanuel Hartnett. Hartnett's going to change his mind, head back down to the inside. And Zach Buchanan pushing these guys on the outside lane. Zach Stoltz and Tristan Allen on the inside as well, trying to close in on that outside lane. But those 3 cars might be enough to get to the top 5. We'll have to see.
Yeah, it looks like Poteet's abandoning it.
It's going to fizz out again. Poteet falling back in line, and Gunford's going to fall back in line as well. Single file the whole way through the field. Complete opposite of what we saw last year, but I think it's almost better to see this than a wreck every 2 laps.
Oh, yeah, you'd love to see, 30 cars in at the end instead of 15 that were, in the lead group. So I think this is definitely a lot better, especially once you get towards the end of the race.
Tyler Mallon continuing to hold on to the race lead ahead of Andrew Miller. Andrew Lemke in the 64. Great run for him. Running in the 3rd position, Austin Ogo as well. We haven't really talked about Ogo too much in this race. He's pretty much been in this top 5 the entire day. So great run for the number 14 machine. And of course, Michael Norman right there. And the number 18 machine running in 5th, Nick Gunther. Emmanuel Hartnett, Dylan Poteet trying to work the outside again with help from Zach Buchanan, Zach Stoltz, and the number 20 of Tristan Allen. Top 10 right now here on lap 39 of 94. Stage 2 ends at 42, lap 42. So we're closing in on the end of the stage. Hopefully they remain green until the end of the stage here at Hallowdega.
Miller's getting aggressive up at the front, just pushing that 08 forward.
It looks like from the 42, who's in 19th right now, all the way back to the 25 of Seth Cole, or actually should be back to the 84 of Roger Ray. That whole pack there, they have said, no mas, no mas. We don't want any part of this at the end of the stage.
And you see those guys back in there. Of course, Carter Freeze and Roger Ray, they're both about 11 seconds behind. Number 25 machine, Seth Cole, 23 seconds behind. But none of those guys will end up a lap down, as the stage will be ending here in less than 3 laps. So I got a question. Do you think Andrew Miller's going to try to make a move on Tyler Mallon for the stage win?
No.
No.
All right. That's what I would think, too. I think they are going to stick together till the end of the race.
It's for bragging rights. If it's at the end of the race, absolutely, but this is just for bragging rights to say, hey, I want a stage at Hallowdega. So I don't think Miller's going to dump his teammate out like that.
Well, Tyler was pretty disappointed he didn't get the stage 1 win, so I think that maybe he's just like, Andrew, please just push me. I just want this one.
2 laps to go in stage number 2 for Tyler Mallon in the 08. Led the most laps so far here tonight. I'd say he's led probably about 30-some laps up to this point, so really strong performance out of this team. Not much going on throughout the field. They've pretty much been single file this whole time. Gunther's going to try something on the outside lane, but nobody goes with him.
Oh, he's still...
He's still trying. He's looking. He's trying to get those guys to help him behind.
Oh.
Hartnett might go. He will go, but Gunther will not go. Baker's going to help the 83. They're going to try to get a run on Gunther.
Let's see. He's going to jump up.
And that outside lane starting to form just a little bit. Hartnett back down low, and they're going to leave Gunther out to dry.
Goodness gracious. White flag in the stage.
So 1 lap to go in stage number 2 here at Hallowdega for Tyler Mallon in the 08. Will he get the Stage 2 victory, or will someone else find a way to get to him? Garrett Sonor helping with the 55 of Nick Gunther on the outside.
I'd watch Lemke in the 64.
And remember, Lemke's not one of these guys who's helping out Miller and Mallon. He might try to make a move on the outside. Will Austin Ogo help him? It's possible. There goes Hartnett to the outside of Michael Norman. I think Lemke's going to stay in 3rd.
I think that they're just content right now. They're not really...
Yeah.
And I don't blame him either. Tyler Mallon in the 08 is going to get it. Andrew Miller is going to be content to stay behind him. Tyler Mallon, oh, we got a bit of a run here. I think it's a little too late for Lemke. Mallon wins Stage 2 in NNSCRA Hallowdega.
There's the yellow flag.
So caution out for the end of the stage. That will be the last competition caution in the event. So,
just a great run by Malin to just and then help, of course, from his buddy Andrew Miller. That Malin, he's looking to avenge what he lost in last year's event. So running well right now. He's showing that he is the car to beat tonight.
he definitely is. But I don't know if we know the full potential of Andrew Miller quite yet. Because he's obviously content with staying behind Malin in this race. But you know that for the win, he is not going to be helping him on that final lap. It's anyone's game on that final lap.
Oh yeah, I think his car is very strong. It might be just as strong as the 08, to be perfectly honest with you, because he's able to push that 08 forward.
So they're going to come down the pit lane here.
And with that, guys, I will have to sign off from the broadcast. It was a pleasure to be with you, Napa and Joe, to call the event tonight. But for those that pay attention in the baseball world, it's Game 7 of the World Series. Going to go enjoy the rest of that game. Thank you all, though, for all of you that are tuning into this event. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
And thank you so much, man. Great to have you alongside. Sorry you couldn't join the whole event, but hope to have you back for next year's event. It was an honor calling this race with you. Great job, and love to do another one with you sometime soon. Have a good night, man.
Thank you. Go Stros.
Tyler Malin done with his pit stop here. And it does appear that he's going to win the race off. Barely ahead of Emmanuel Hartnett. Hartnett's going to get back behind him. And Corey Williams is up to third now. Andrew Miller did not have the best of pit stops. He's fourth off the pit lane. Austin Ogo in fifth. Cole Baker, Zach Buchanan, Nick Gunther, Andrew Lemke, Garrett Zenor, and Zach Stoltz, the top 10 off the pit lane.
How much do you want to bet the 08 takes the top here to get that 47 with them?
Yeah, I think that's probably what they're going to do. We'll have to see. But Malin is officially the race leader. Kind of strange. We have a caution, but we don't have anything to review. But that's kind of nice. Gives us time to kind of see what's going to happen in the rest of this race. Get an idea of what we're going to see here. Just before halfway here at Hallowdega. So how do you think this is all going to play out in these final 50 laps?
Well, I think now maybe it might be time for some of the drivers that are towards the back to just kind of get closer to the front. Maybe not necessarily get up in the action yet, but get closer there, stay within the draft. Like we saw Friesen and Ray, they were kind of 11 seconds back, as you mentioned. So I think now they'll be closer. They won't necessarily be in the pack. They'll be close enough to just cling on in case maybe we don't get another yellow flag somehow.
Tyler Malin on the inside. Emmanuel Hartnett there in the number 83, going to be starting alongside him. Malin's going to choose the inside lane for this restart. So
that's interesting.
It is an interesting decision right there. Of course, then again, it might just not be Malin and Miller. It might be Malin, Miller, Hartnett, Baker, and Allen. Remember, all five of those guys in communication with each other. Because you have other guys who are in communication with each other as well. I'm sure Joe can let y'all know about that. Got all kinds of groups communicating with each other on the racetrack right now. So a lot of communication going on between the drivers. It's a chess match out there. With all the drafting that's going on, I think we're going to see things pick up here. So we got 50 laps to go in the 5th annual NNSCRA Hallowdega special event. Corey Williams going to try to push Malin on the inside. I don't know how this is going to go because Malin and Miller are not with each other anymore. I have to see if they get back together.
Miller had a hole to jump down if he wanted it, but look at the 08 going up top there.
So Malin getting out ahead of the 83 of Emmanuel Hartnett. Oh boy, Austin Ogo looking to the inside of Corey Williams. Corey Williams, I believe, spun. He went upside down in this race. Yeah, remember that. He went upside down. He's now on the inside trying to get something to work, but we got 4 of that 5 on that outside lane. The only guy right there who's not with them is Tristan Allen, Cole Baker, Andrew Miller, Emmanuel Hartnett, and Tyler Malin all cutting to the inside. Nick Gunther's going to try to go with him. He did not have enough room. Andrew Lemke on the outside. Garrett Zenor going to try to join those guys in the outside lane as well.
Yeah, Malin, he did that perfectly. Jumped up with the A3 and the 47. They got those 3 lined up, and they got Cole Baker right with them. So that's like, you got all the team basically there, except for, as you mentioned, Allen.
And Allen's not too far behind either. He's right behind Dylan Poteet on the inside lane, not too far back in the pack, so we'll have to see if he joins along with those guys. 55, Nick Gunther trying to peek out, but it looks like they're going to go back single file.
Yeah.
You know, one guy, though, who's not content with going single file is Zach Buchanan. I've seen him peek out quite a bit. Austin Ogo going to go to the outside as well. Corey Williams. You know, this is reminding me so much of last year's Hallowdega race in real life when Stewart Haas Racing pretty much just smoked the field because they helped each other out. That's kind of what's going on right now with these four guys and Tristan Allen. And they got to be careful. They might not want to put Tristan Allen right next to those guys because he's starting to close in on that inside lane, and they're all with each other now. The top five are now all those five guys who are working together, so we'll have to see if anyone can get around them, but you can imagine these guys are going to be trying to get around this top five.
They've basically done to perfection at this point. We'll see if they can keep it at this perfection. Right now, it's going to be hard to beat 5 cars. You're going to need at least 5 cars to beat those, so we'll see how it goes, though. There's still a lot of racing left. Half the race at the start-finish line is left, so don't count anyone out quite yet.
Corey Williams is 6th. Sonny Tallman up to 7th. Garrett Sonor, Jessica Shelton, Andrew Lemke on the outside lane back in here. We do have a line starting to form up on the outside. We'll have to see if any of these guys get a run on the rest of the field. You know, if it were me, I would want to try that outside lane. I want to make sure you can get it to work.
Oh yeah, at this stage in the race, absolutely. You know, there's not really much to lose. Just go up there and see how it would work. You know, just try it. If it doesn't work, you just fall to the back. That's track position you make up later in the race. Rather try it now than, you know, lap 70 or so.
It looks like we have a bigger pack as well. A lot of those guys who are...
Williams.
Oh, Williams up high. Sonny Tallman, Garrett Sonor, all helping that outside lane right there. Tallman's got to be careful. Jessica Shelton is in a sticky situation right there. Tallman had a quarter panel right to the nose of the number 9, but thankfully they figured it out. Tallman's going to try back on the outside.
If Williams goes with them or not. There he goes.
Here he is. They're trying to get this top 5.
They have a line formed on the outside. It could be possible.
There are a lot more cars up there than there were before the end of the stage, so we'll have to see if they can get it to work on that outside lane. Hartnett peeking out.
Oh, no.
Oh, and they're shuffling around. Tristan Allen on the apron. And it looks like we got some 4Y down the backstretch. Somehow that top 5 stayed in line.
Oh, look out.
Miller's lagging. Miller's on the apron and around. Back in there. Cole Baker's around. Corey Williams. And Williams almost upside down again. More contact. Kyle Keefe's around. Lemke is around. Number 57, Matthew Rodriguez. And destroyed is Garrett Sonor on the number 16. Sonny Tallman. And Zach Buchanan in the inside wall. Cole Baker.
McIntyre. Kyle Keefe. There's Buchanan doing a donut burnout on the inside.
Oh, that's gotta hurt.
Garrett Sonor's done.
Garrett Sonor, Sonny Tallman, both of those guys had a lot of good opportunities to win this race. Neither of them are going to get that opportunity here tonight. Cole Baker's got a lot of front-end damage on his race car. It's a tough break for him. He was one of those guys working it. I don't know what happened. Miller had an issue, I think. I don't know what happened to the 47. He went on the apron, and then all heck broke loose behind him.
I think we'll have some interviews after that.
And we probably will, so we'll have to see what the perspectives are on this one. Let's see if these guys do come down. I would almost think they'd all stay out since they just came down the pit lane. But that's going to change the entire complexion of this race. That top 5, who we thought were going to stay in line the entire race, they had a bit of an issue working together there, and
now it's down to 4.
Our 5th caution of the night, and it looks like they are going to come down here. I would imagine a couple guys might stay out, though, try to break up this top 5.
Yeah.
Or it's now top 4 because of Cole Baker getting involved.
Looks like everyone's coming down, though.
Everyone is coming down the pit lane.
Well, nice for now.
And we'll replay the accident after we get the cycle of pit stops complete. Tyler Mallon, 2 tires. Andrew Miller might be, he's going with 4 tires, so he's going to fall back just a little bit. Tristan Allen trying to beat off the 08. He's not able to do so, and the Winner off the pit
A3.
lane
Look at that.
will be Emmanuel Hartnett in the number 83 machine. So Hartnett, Mallon, Tristan Allen, and Andrew Miller is going to be able to file in 4th off the pit lane.
How about that? Now,
So
now it really
those
is
top
Stuart
4 are
House.
all working together. They've lost one of their crew members, but they're going to be right with each other. That team doing a great job here tonight. They've been dominating this race, especially with Tyler Mallon. We'll have to see how it goes throughout the rest of the event. Let's go ahead, see what happened here. And it all started down the backstretch with Andrew Miller. Saw him glitch out just a little bit. He hit the apron, and then somebody behind reacted to it. Caused this huge accident that occurred entering turn number 3.
Oh, so it sounds like Andrew Miller won't line up in 4th. It's like he took the blame for the crash.
And he
He's gonna
went
drop to the
He
rear.
went completely out, but he went on the apron, and then up there, Cole Baker went up in the Corey Williams, and then ahead of this, you see Phil Parker, Austin Ogo, Rodriguez in the 54, Lemke in the 64, and Kyle Keefe in the 42 also got spun. Levi McIntyre as well. I'm not sure where Sinor gained his damage. I didn't really get to see that. There's Sonny Tallman. Try to see where Garrett Sinor is here and see how he accumulated all of his damage there. He is already on the pit lane, and I would imagine Sinor is going to be out of the race after this one.
We're going green this time. They're in turn 4.
All right. One more review here.
How about at the front of the field, Miller took blame for the crash. He's at the back, and Tristan Allen got a speeding penalty. So that's only 2 of them in the front.
And Sinor took a hard hit to the outside wall. Tyler Mallon
And we'll actually get a word with Sinor.
is the race leader.
User was moved to
Emmanuel
your channel.
Hartnett there. We're going to get to the restart first, so hang on just a second. Green flag back in the air. Mallon and Emmanuel Hartnett side by side. Back to racing on lap 52 of 94. Hartnett trying to work the inside here. Looks like he might take the lead away from Mallon, and he will. Gunther on the apron. Got a little loose right there. Gonna keep it together for now. And we got Garrett Sinor alongside us. Man, I really wanted you to have a good night for many reasons. Unfortunately, I caught up in that last big one. What happened from your perspective in that accident?
Well, I honestly thought I had it missed, and one of the guys I've been working with in this race just caught my board, and I got hooked into the outside wall. I mean, there's pretty much nothing I could do. I mean, ended my night for sure.
Yeah, I know you got knocked out along with Sonny Tallman. I saw you guys kind of working together there throughout the race. Do you think you guys would have had a shot at getting to the top 5, who obviously have been the dominant drivers of this race? Do you think these guys would have had a shot at winning this race if you guys were able to keep on going?
I feel like, yeah, because we needed a little bit more help on the outside. I felt like we could make it work, like they obviously keep trying to do, and if we just got more people lined up, I felt like we could have made a run to the front. I got up to 5th in qualifying for that. I mean, that's as close as I got.
Well, I hate to see you get knocked out of this race, but hey, hopefully you can return next year and have a shot at possibly getting this Hallowdega race victory. And someday, my man, someday you're going to win your 20th career race on AppFan. Someday you're going to get there. I know it's been like 2 years, but you'll get it. I was hoping it would be this one. I know it wouldn't officially count it, but that's why I really wanted you to win. I really wanted you to get win number 20. You'll get it someday, my man. You'll get it someday. But, sorry to see you go, but hey, had a blast watching you out there on the racetrack, and good luck in next year's Hallowdega special event.
Alrighty, thank you very much.
You're very welcome, my man.
How about that move that was just pulled with Nick Gunther making the move on Tyler Mallon? That big move to get down to the inside.
They know he's a strong car, and they're not gonna let him stay in the lead. They know he's gonna be tough to pass once he gets back up to the lead. If he gets back up to the lead, he's look at that on the outside lane of Michael Norman with no help, trying to get an advantage on him. I can't imagine he's going to be able to make the pass on these guys, but that 08 is super fast.
And look at Rob Evans without a rear trying to get their contact.
Hit the apron. And he's really playing it close right there. But remember, Rob Evans was involved in the first accident of the race. And here he is on the inside. But the top 4 trying to pull away. Emmanuel Hartnett, Nick Gunther, Michael Norman, Tyler Mallon, and Rob Evans. Zach Stoltz on the outside, trying to get the outside lane to work. Corey Williams has been involved in 2 accidents. He's still in the top 10, battling for this race victory. I think he's going to have a good shot at the race win. Dylan Poteet is here. Zach Buchanan still in contention. Matthew Rodriguez in the 57. A lot of guys on the outside lane who haven't really been in the top 5, but have been in the top 10 a lot. I think they're going to have a shot once we get to the end of this race. Austin Ogo in the 14. And coming down the pit lane. And Phil Parker in the 24. I don't believe we had another accident. I believe they're just coming down to possibly repair damage. But either way, back to the race lead. And they are shuffling there for that top position. Hartnett remaining out front in the 83. Drivers who are out of the race include Sonny Tolman, Garrett Sonor, the 71 machine of James Shelley. Remember, he was knocked out earlier on. Austin Ogo is out of this race as well, and I believe he was involved in that accident that just occurred, and the 43 of RJ Bishop's a lap down. 24 guys on the lead lap here in NNSCRA Hallowdega on lap 56 of 94. A lot of shuffling going on back here. Cole Baker and Tristan Allen still in this thing. And there's Andrew Miller as well. And remember what Joe said. Miller took blame for the accident. He headed to the back of the field. And then Tristan Allen was speeding on the pit lane. He also went to the rear of the field for the restart. That's why they're back in there. That's why that team right there has split up. Those guys have been dominating this race. Hartnett, Baker, Allen, Miller, and Tyler Mallon. And now they're all split up throughout the field, and that's why we got Nick Gunther and Michael Norman up here battling with Emmanuel Hartnett for the race lead.
I'm not so sure if that 65 Rob Evans, if he isn't slow. I mean, he's still in the draft.
Oh, boy. Wow. Not Mallon. That is Michael Norman on the outside lane trying to make something happen up there. That's not going to work. Rob Evans might get a run to the rear bumper of the 08. He will. Norman is shuffling out of line. He's falling all the way back in the number 18. Right ahead of Corey Williams. Corey Williams has to react. He's going to go to the outside. Help from Jessica Shelton on the outside lane. Zach Stoltz, Dylan Poteet, Zach Buchanan are working with each other right there. If I'm not mistaken, they might all be in the same team as well. They might all be in communication with each other. Tyler Mallon's going to try to work that outside lane, and you know if Mallon's going up there, he means it. Stoltz is going to get a position. He's going to go to 4th. That outside lane fizzled out.
Evans.
Rob Evans is in 5th right now. Dylan Poteet, Matthew Rodriguez, and now Michael Norman trying to work the outside lane. Stoltz is going to try to get around Mallon. Not going to do so. Mallon's going to make a move on Gunther. No one's going to go with him. He's going to get stuck on the outside, and Stoltz has another position in the number 1 machine. He's up to 3rd now.
Well, back behind that, like front 4, they are getting crazy. Rob Evans there. You have Matthew Rodriguez, Dylan Poteet, Zach Buchanan. See, Evans backing out. I think he knows he's maybe just a little bit slower with that damage. He just wants to get out of there.
Rob Evans looks like he's going to abort the pack right there. We got a lot of guys. Roger Ray and Carter Friesen. David.
Buchanan.
Oh.
Mallon.
Mallon getting shuffled out of line. These guys on the inside. I see a couple of guys moving their way through the field here. Andrew Miller and Cole Baker on the inside lane. Andrew Lemke in the 64 as well. Rodriguez, Michael Norman, they're all on the inside lane right now, single file, and they are not helping out Tyler Mallon. They know he's got the strongest race car. I don't think they want to help him in this race.
Yeah, they're saying goodbye.
But Emmanuel Hartnett continuing to lead this event right here, right ahead of Nick Gunther. Zach Stoltz is in 3rd. 4th is Zach Buchanan. 5th is Dylan Poteet. And Corey Williams up to 6th.
Oh, Mallon got in line.
Oh, and he got in line, and that was Cole Baker who let him in line. So we got 3 of those guys on that team helping each other out now. Andrew Miller, Tyler Mallon, and Cole Baker. Corey Williams right ahead of Andrew Miller right now on the inside lane. Zach Stoltz is going to try to make another move here. Got a little help from Zach Buchanan. A lot of guys going with him. Poteet and Williams. Going to file back in on the inside.
Oh, look at Buchanan.
That was close. You saw it right there. He put the bumper to Stoltz, and Stoltz is now going to get shuffled out of line. Buchanan's going to go to 3rd.
Now can Buchanan and Gunther work together? Those two have been pretty aggressive with their moves. Maybe they'll be aggressive together and get to the lead.
We'll have to see what they do here. They put Stoltz out of line.
Ooh,
Rodriguez on the apron. He's going to have to back it off just a little bit right there. Into Michael Norman. That could have been an accident if they weren't careful. And I could imagine Michael Norman might not be too happy with that. Rodriguez came right up on him. A tough break right there for Rodriguez. He lost a lot of ground, but he's out of the pack right now. Tyler Mallon trying to work the outside here. He might get a little help from Cole Baker.
Mine.
I think these guys, too, are waiting until the next set of pit stops.
I think so. I think
Because
you're right.
you obviously don't want to be coming down double wide and 3 wide. If you're single file, you got a much better chance of coming down. And with the way things have been going in this race, there's a very good chance we'll have green flag pit stops. Nowhere near as many yellows in this race as we had last year.
Oh, look at that.
Buchanan trying to make a move here on Nick Gunther. Help from Dylan Poteet. He's got an outside lane run on him. Will Poteet be able to push him enough? He's going to try to move back down, and Buchanan is going to file back in and around. Cole Baker! Is Mallon involved? No, but Baker's upside down.
Got back down.
And hard.
Rodriguez just
Levi
made it.
McIntyre, Matthew Rodriguez, Jessica Shelton, and Carter Friesen.
Friesen tried to get to pit road to avoid it, and he got involved.
Carson Gum with damage. And Jessica Shelton, she's seen her fair share of spins tonight that were not her fault.
Wow. That was crazy.
Cole Baker initially going around, almost flipping. He went airborne in that accident. Caution back out.
You have to look at Roger Ray in this replay. Oh, wow.
We'll have to see what happened.
Oh, man.
Imagine these guys are going to come down the pit lane. We're going to focus on that first and get to the replay of the accident.
Man, to have that five-some, that team that has been working together so well, they're just keep crumbling apart. They just keep kind of falling out.
Nick Gunther in second. Emmanuel Hartnett continuing to lead the field. Zach Buchanan, Dylan Poteet, and Corey Williams, the top 5. Andrew Miller, Tyler Mallon almost got involved in that, and that was what I was watching out for because he was right on that outside lane right there, right behind Cole Baker when he almost flipped over. Thankfully, he avoided it. Charles Belding inside the top 10, Kyle Keefe and Michael Norman, the top 10 coming down the pit lane. They are led by Emmanuel Hartnett. And one guy none of us picked earlier on, of course, Chris Ellison, he picked, I believe it was Charles Belding. You picked Zach Buchanan, I picked Tyler Mallon. Well, one guy who has really been strong in this race has been Emmanuel Hartnett. And I'm definitely impressed with what he's been able to do. And then number 83, no damage on that machine. He's been able to avoid all the craziness that's happened tonight. Going to come down the pit lane as the race leader. We'll have to see if he comes out the race leader off the pit lane.
Taking 2 tires for now.
Of course, Jessica Shelton was involved in an accident. She's coming down to repair some more damage.
There goes the A3. Get out in front.
And
Mallon.
will win the race off. Tyler Mallon.
Zach Buchanan and Andrew Miller.
And Nick Gunther rounding out the top 5. Interesting top 5 right there. And Mallon with a great pit stop, and that's going to put him right back into the position he was in before the last green flag run we had. So
Carter Friesen is out there in the race lead. I don't know what the word is on that.
Well, interesting out of Carter Friesen. He has had a very interesting night. He started the race practically a lap down, got the free pass under the first caution of the event. And I think he might just be getting out there to say he led a lap. It's possible.
I think what happened was when he took to pit road to avoid the crash, he got to pit road before the yellow and then possibly took service.
Oh, wow. Yeah, you might be right. Well, let's go ahead and see what happened. Cole Baker's still in this race, even though he almost went upside down. Of course, we've seen Corey Williams go upside down in this race, and he's been able to continue and run pretty strong in this race. And one thing I did forget to mention, we have moderate damage. It's not realistic damage, it is moderate damage on these race machines, so they can take some hits. If they take too many hits, they'll get knocked out, but it's a little bit different than a normal race. Once again, he pushed in the Miller, who pushed in the Williams. He had to slow down, and Stoltz got into him.
How about Tyler Mallon, though?
He avoided that one. Rodriguez in them, Levi McIntyre, Carter Friesen smashed into Jessica Shelton. Rodriguez is there. I know you mentioned Roger Ray.
Yes.
We'll
You gotta look at that.
All right. Oh, my. Sure the folks at home saw that one, too. Barrel rolling. Number 84. I don't know how this happened. He just spun
Roger
around.
said he grip flipped.
His connection has been a little bit off tonight, so he's been having a bit of a warping issue. That might have been why, but he's still good to go. Levi McIntyre.
99.57 hit really hard and all that, too.
We'll replay this one again.
57 came right across the track.
Rodriguez here in the 57. Try to avoid, and he just didn't do it correctly. It went right up into Levi McIntyre. He cut to the left a little too quickly, and it sent him into the inside. Well, back up the racetrack with Jessica Shelton. And, yeah, you see Carter Friesen pitting right there, and I guess they're going to say that he's still the race leader. He is. And it looks like we are coming to the green flag.
Well, that's one way to get out in front, isn't it?
That definitely is. So, like I mentioned, it's been a topsy-turvy race for Carter Friesen. He started a lap down. He spun, coming to the green flag, lost the draft, went a lap down, got the free pass under the first caution. He's been riding in the back pretty much this entire race, got involved in an accident, but came down, made his pit stop, just stayed out, and he is the new race leader with that ugly-looking race car. This is just a Carter Friesen. I'm messing with Carter, you know. You guys know Carter, you know he messes around a lot. I'm messing with him. I'm not trying to say his car is ugly. It is a good scheme. I just wish the number was where it's supposed to be, like everyone else in the race. Now, but Carter Friesen leading the field. Emmanuel Hartnett to his outside. Tyler Mallon running third. He's got Andrew Miller behind him again. Zach Buchanan, Andrew Miller, Nick Gunther, Dylan Poteet, Tristan Allen, Michael Norman, Kyle Keefe, top 10. Got ourselves 29 laps to go. Coming to the green flag. After our 6th caution of the night, 5th for contact in the 5th annual NNSCRA Hallowdega special event.
How about that? No retirees off that crash either. All the cars are still left running. Look at the outside run, but abandoned by Buchanan.
He cut right down low to help Friesen. I don't know if they want Friesen up here. He's not been a guy leading this race for a majority of it. He doesn't know what it's like up front yet in this race. Buchanan right behind him there.
So you got the only car with the Pinty's banner on the front. You got the only car with the core panel number, and it's leading the race. How about that?
He's just going to try to stay on that inside and hug it.
There goes Mallon. He's looking.
Mallon's looking. Miller's behind him. I think Mallon would want to wait until Miller can clear the outside. Emmanuel Hartnett did not get a good jump there. On the outside lane, has still got Gunther and Tristan Allen behind him. Mallon to the inside. He hit the apron to try to make the move on Zach Buchanan. He's got the nose of the inside of him. Friesen now blocking Buchanan. This is going to open the door for Tyler Mallon. Friesen down low, going to block the inside.
Wow.
So Carter Friesen continuing the lead. They're going to leave Buchanan out to dry. Those 3 guys on the outside trying to get around him up top. And Friesen down low on the apron. He's going to give way to Tyler Mallon.
Well, that was probably smart. He didn't want to be up there quite yet. Just get back there with his buddy Roger Ray. He gets back in line. Ooh, that's close. Merging up.
So Tyler Mallon is back out front here at Talladega. Andrew Miller behind him in second. That's how it was for a majority of the early part of this race, and now they're back in their regular positions, and we got a crash.
Rodriguez, Bishop, Stoltz.
Zach Stoltz and the one going around, RJ Bishop, and Rodriguez with a lot of damage in the 57. That's a tough break for him. Phil Parker as well. Really haven't seen much of Phil Parker tonight. Looks like he was caught up in that one. So, Tyler Mallon
nowhere.
Winning the race back to the line once again.
He's done that a lot tonight, hasn't he?
He has. He has. He's pretty used to doing that. Let's see what happened here real quick.
Oh, wow. That was interesting. That was definitely some sort of connection issue.
Oh, whoa, yes. Phil Parker in the number 24.
Yeah,
Just like that. hard into Rodriguez. Rodriguez upside down. RJ Bishop, Zach Stoltz, nowhere to go.
Some would say that that'd be a lower downforce package in real life NASCAR. That maybe would just suck you around, but that doesn't happen here. So
it does not. These guys are racing the CTS physics. In case you don't know, that is the higher downforce physics in NR 2003. So I'd imagine these guys are not having too much trouble holding onto the inside. With Zach Stoltz there in the number 1 going around.
We got some pit stops.
Tyler Mallon in the 08, leading the field down the pit lane.
Andrew Miller stayed out.
Ooh, this is interesting. He wants a share of that lead. He's been helping Mallon all night long.
Roger Ray stayed out.
That's interesting too.
Those are the only two.
Roger Ray and Andrew Miller staying out. Of course, we had just recently finished pit stops from the last set.
And we'll get Levi McIntyre to join us shortly for an interview.
And we got Lemke in the 64, winning the race off the pit lane. Andrew Miller and Roger Ray.
That shuffled the field a little bit.
Staying out, and we got ourselves an interesting lineup. Once again, pit lane has definitely been shaking this field up here tonight. And we got Levi McIntyre in. I know you were involved in the accident before the one that just happened. But you pretty much just got sideswiped out of nowhere. What was your perspective of all that going on right there?
Well, first of all, I mean, those first 2 stages went about as well as I could have hoped. After all, I've had the worst luck at this particular race. Been in every single one of them, and every single time I hadn't been able to finish. And my goal tonight was just to try and finish the race for the first time. And I guess I'm just, as I say every year, I'm cursed. As far as what I saw up there, I just saw the 57 come back up the racetrack. I almost made it through, and then he came back up and clipped me. And then I tried to see if I could still keep up, and my car just was not having it at the end. But, I mean, me and Carson had a plan to try and stay in the back and then try and go for it when we got closer to the finish. But I know he got into it a little bit, but he managed to get through, so I hope he gets through somehow and gets a good run at it. But I guess it's just not meant to be. I guess it's just not meant to be for me to finish a Hallowdega race, it seems.
Well, hopefully next year you'll have an opportunity to do so. I know it's tough. Yeah, every single year it seems like you don't get to finish this thing, but it'll happen sometime. And unfortunately, that one was none of your fault and just a freak accident, basically. But either way, still great to have you here. Great to see you racing along with these guys, and good luck next year in next year's Hallowdega special event.
Thank you.
User left your channel.
So, interesting update here. Got an interesting update from Race Control Seth Cole saying that the 08 will get an EOL on the restart, as before he went down below the double orange line without being forced as an EOL.
Yeah, we saw that happen live. He was trying to force Buchanan out of line, and he crossed below the double yellow line to make that move. So that's going to be fun. I think he's got a car capable of moving his way through the field, but he's going to be at the end of the field on this restart. They called off the restart. They were lined up, but they weren't lined up all the way.
And of course, you have Malin there trying to argue his case, but Seth Cole, he's coming back. No, you did what you did, so rules are rules.
Yep.
So, interesting setup here in the start with Miller and Ray staying out. We haven't seen Roger Ray at the front today, so how's that going to play into it?
Going to be interesting. I know that much. First, we saw him kind of glitch out and do a barrel roll, and here he is, starting on the front row for this restart. Andrew Miller, though, is the race leader, and I mentioned earlier on, how strong is his car going to be? We really haven't been able to really tell because he's been stuck behind Malin this entire race, but now that he's the race leader, do you think he's going to be dominating this race and holding that inside lane like Malin did?
I think it's possible. His car is probably just as fast, if not faster, than Malin's. So it's going to be interesting. We'll see if everyone plays nice with him like he's playing nice with Malin and his teammates. So we'll just have to see how this restart goes. We're coming green this time by.
Andrew Miller, Roger Ray, Andrew Lemke Nick Gunther, Tristan Allen, Emmanuel Hartnett, Cole Baker, Michael Norman, Zach Buchanan, Kyle Keith, the top 10. Dylan Poteet's back in there. Rob Evans, Charles Belding, Corey Williams, Zach Stoltz, Carson Gum still in this thing, Jessica Shelton, David Alvarez, Carter Friesen at the back, Phil Parker, RJ Bishop, and Tyler Mallon all the way at the back of the field with Seth Cole at the end of the line. Those are the only drivers in the race. 23 drivers still in the race, all on the lead lap. Rodriguez is out. Levi McIntyre is out of the race. And the number 14 machine of Austin Oga, we saw him get eliminated earlier on as well. So 23 drivers still left. They are led by Andrew Miller. And the number 47, help from Andrew Lepke in the 64 behind him. Roger Ray on the outside, trying to get something to work up there with help from Nick Gunther.
Wow, the outside just disformed there. They all jumped down, abandoned ship down to the inside. There's only about 4 cars in lead grip, and Ray's going to step out.
Roger Ray has been in the back a majority of this event, is going to step out of the leader's way. And just like I theorized, Andrew Miller holding the inside lane and leading this race. First time he has been up front all night long. I think it's about time, because he has been one of the strongest cars of this race. He's been holding behind Tyler Mallon the entire night, but now it's his time to shine, as he's going to lead lap 71 here at Talladega.
And oh, look at some cars breaking low already, trying to get out of line.
It's Cole Baker, number 11 on the outside lane, trying to get something to work up there. Michael Norman, Tristan Allen trying to get something to work. We really haven't seen Tristan Allen in the top 3 yet. This is, I think, the highest he's been in this race so far. A great run for Tristan Allen. We'll have to see if he can get something to work. Buchanan looking up high, unable to do so. Cole Baker lost a lot of ground. There's a lot of guys running that inside line. And Baker getting passed by all of them. He's fallen all the way to the back of the field. Zach Stoltz back in there as well. We've seen him go around a couple times. Corey Williams as well. And somehow Rob Evans and Charles Belding, they've been doing a good job, especially Belding. Other than that one accident he was in, he's run a very clean race. He hasn't been involved in anything else, so great run for the Starburst machine.
Whoa! Mallon's going around!
Mallon around in the 08!
Oh,
and a tap right there from RJ Bishop.
Oh!
And Bishop took a hard hit to the inside wall. That might end his night.
No caution. We're still green.
And it is still green. It's going from bad to worse for Tyler Mallon. I can imagine it's not a very happy race car right now. A little bit surprised by the call, but that's the way it goes. Andrew Miller continuing to lead. Lemke.
Caution is out now.
Caution is now out.
So we're racing back.
So they're racing back to the line. Andrew Miller is most likely going to get it right here. And Tyler Mallon. Thankfully, he does not have any significant damage on the 08. Just simply spun around, but we're going to have to see what happens to him here. Not entirely sure what's going on, but guy has been dominating this event so far. Having some issues late in the going here in Hallowdega.
So at first it wasn't a yellow because the 43 at first didn't spin and hit the inside wall, but once he went down and hit the inside wall, that was 2 or more cars with contact. That's a yellow flag.
And of course we saw RJ Bishop took a hard hit to the inside wall right there. Andrew Miller won the race back to the line. Let's go ahead and quickly see what happened to Tyler Mallon in the 08 machine.
That was a interesting scenario to set up the crash.
Mallon tried to get to the inside of Zach Stoltz and got bumped by Cole Baker. Hit the outside wall, bumped back into Carter Friesen, and then went around. And RJ Bishop here just barely clipped him and hard in the inside wall. This is my man Trey Wright's channel, by the way, in the infield. I rode with him in a car at the Pocono Raceway. We got stuck in the rain, and his dad helped pick me up so I can get to my mom and my sister who were picking us up. They couldn't get to us, and they helped us out. So a big shout out to my man Trey Wright and his dad for helping us out on that day of the Pocono IndyCar race.
We got pit stops going on.
Andrew Miller leading the field down the pit lane. He's down. Looks like it's going to be fuel only for the number 47.
Yeah, everyone else does on pit road here.
And it looks like that the number 47 of Andrew Miller is going to win the race off. You know what? He's not. Lemke got it. 64 of Andrew Lemke, going to be the new race leader. I think that might be the first time we've seen Lemke out front here tonight. Emmanuel Hartnett, and then Andrew Miller, Zach Buchanan, Michael Norman, the top 5.
Now Tyler Mallon is going to be at the back of the field again. Can he try and mount a charge this time? Oh, and more tough break for Tristan Allen on pit road, speeding again.
Again. Yikes.
He's not too happy with the lights on his dash apparently right now.
That's a tough break for Tristan Allen. He was kind of deep in the field already anyway, I think.
Yeah, he was towards the back.
And the good thing is, and I don't think... Let's see, Bishop's going to stay out there. I thought that would end his night. He took a hard hit to the inside, but apparently he is going to stay out there. So still 23 drivers in the race, all on the lead lap. And Andrew Lemke leading the field in the number 64. Emmanuel Hartnett to his outside. Andrew Miller side by side with Zach Buchanan in row number 2. Michael Norman to the inside of Nick Gunther in row 3. Dylan Poteet and Rob Evans, Zach Stoltz and Charles Belding. That's the top 10. We'll see the other guys come through here.
Going green this time, so everyone's got to get doubled up here and get caught up.
And they're waiting for, I believe, RJ Bishop. And he will join the end of the field. Here we go. We're under 20 laps to go now. As a matter of fact, 19 to be exact. Coming to the lawyer these guys are going to get, which probably will trigger more cautions, but who knows what we're going to see. It's Hallowdega. Anything is possible. Green flag back in the air. 19 to go for Andrew Lemke in the 64.
Good push on the outside. Buchanan gave the 83 a nice push. It looks like the 4's going to band to the inside.
Oh boy. They know Hartnett's a strong car too, and I think Buchanan's one of these guys who we know is strong. He's got a really good chance of winning this thing. He's yet to even lead a lap in this race. That's so much happened to him so far. Trying to work the inside. Nick Gunther looking up to help Emmanuel Hartnett.
Big push on the inside there. That 4 getting a nice boost from the 47. We talked about Miller was being a good pusher.
Zach Buchanan pushing Andrew Lemke, but Lemke staying out front in the 64. Miller gonna peek to the inside of Buchanan. He is not gonna let him stay in second. And it's the Andrew and Andrew show up front here at Talladega with Lemke and Miller 1-2. Buchanan's gonna try to file ahead of Norman. He's got it. That's gonna slow the inside down a little bit. Here comes Hartnett trying to get a run. Not able to get it. And there is Nick Gunther trying to work the outside lane. Kyle Keefe back here. Tyler Mallon behind him. Tristan Allen right behind Mallon. I think those two guys are going to help each other get to the front. Cole Baker's there as well. Back to the race lead. Zach Buchanan, help from Michael Norman and Dylan Poteet. A run on the outside lane on Andrew Lemke. He's got a run. He might get the lead right here.
That was a huge push on the outside. Great coordination, great teamwork. Now can they clear the inside?
They will not. A dead heat up front right now between Zach Buchanan and Andrew Lemke. Michael Norman is committed. They have to be committed. There is no hole on the inside for them to peek down low. Buchanan at the line leads lap number 77. And Tyler Mallon 3 wide on the outside with Tristan Allen.
Mallon is strong. He knows what to do at Talladega to win.
Oh, a bump!
Oh!
Kyle Keefe got into him just a little bit, but they keep it together.
Wow.
And this is the wildest racing we've seen in quite a while. Buchanan with a push from Michael Norman trying to clear Lemke on the inside.
Oh.
Not able to do it quite yet. Lemke with the help from Miller. You know, Miller's a great pusher. He's been pushing Mallon all night long. And he continues to push the race leader here at Talladega.
Yeah, the 2 equal lines. 4 can't get clear, 64 can't get clear. It's going to come down to, you know, just if... Oh, look at that 8-3 trying to jump out of line there. But they're basically tandeming. Look at that Mallon on the outside. They're almost stacked 3 wide for the lead.
He's really pushing it on the outside lane right here. Tristan Allen helping him. Cole Baker's there as well. Buchanan holding the outside. Help from Michael Norman still. But Lemke holding the inside. But they're going to have to worry about Tyler Mallon here. Buchanan's going to go up.
4.
He's going to block Mallon. And we might end up with 3 wide for the race lead. It looks like the middle line is starting to fizzle out just a little bit, but Buchanan holding the outside with Tyler Mallon behind him and Tristan Allen behind Mallon. But Lemke going to benefit from that one. That outside lane lost a little bit of steam. Andrew Lemke is going to keep out front. Hartnett is up here, trying to work the middle. He's going to stay behind Andrew Miller.
Miller's been very committed to the back of whoever he's behind, and I think that's what's helping them stay out front. Look at Malin there trying to squeeze. Oh.
Now in the middle lane. And Buchanan's going to file to the inside. I don't think Malin's going to be content with that, though. Buchanan actually will stay on the outside lane for now. Michael Norman on the inside behind Emmanuel Hartnett. Now Malin and Tristan Allen go to the inside and leave Buchanan out to dry. So things going to calm down a little bit. They are coming to 14 laps to go for Andrew Lemke in the number 64. So this is going to get interesting here in these final 14 laps.
Look at Malin looking to the outside. I think he just wanted to shuffle that 4 out of the way. He just wants to lead the outside. Doesn't want to help someone get up there.
And you know what's going to happen here? You're going to have Miller peek out, I think. With Malin and Allen coming on the outside lane, I would expect that 47 to join him. The question is,
on the top side.
What will Andrew Lemke do? He knows all those guys who are on that same team are behind him. Is he going to try to join forces with them and stay out front? I can see Miller looking to the outside. He's going to stay right behind Lemke as Malin connected the run with Tristan Allen.
Yeah, with just 2 cars out there, it's going to be very, very hard with all the other cars on the bottom of the racetrack. They're going to need some more
Malin,
help.
or should I say Miller?
Wow.
Second time I've done that. And Michael Norman hit the apron. But he keeps the inside lane. And it is only Tyler Malin and Tristan Allen on the outside lane right now. There is Zach Stoltz in the number 1 trying to catch up to those
look
guys.
At Miller.
And Miller's going to peek to the outside. Going to try to work that outside lane now. He's going to lose a little bit of ground right there, but he's going to hope for Malin and Allen to close into him.
Like the 83's committed right now to the back of the 64. In fact, there's a little bit of a gap there to go look for a run.
Andrew Lemke continuing to lead. Emmanuel Hartnett in second. Michael Norman, Nick Gunther, Zach Buchanan, top 5. Andrew Miller peeked out of second place to join the outside lane, but no one else is up there. And it's not working out too well for those guys. But we'll have to see if they can make a run towards the end of this race. Back to the race lead. Andrew Lemke continuing to lead. Nick Hartnett, like you said, is content to stay where he is. He saw what happened to Andrew Miller. He's going to lose a ton of ground right there. That has got to hurt for the 47. Was running top 3 pretty much his entire race and lost all that ground after 1 move.
Malin and Allen got in line on the inside. Miller's still out there looking for some sort of hole to get in line, but no such hole is found.
But Tristan Allen is actually now behind Corey Williams. They got split by the 51, so that's going to shake things up. But they're back to single file, and I'm surprised at how clean it is this late in the race. We're coming to 11 laps to go. Andrew Lemke continuing to lead with Emmanuel Hartnett and Michael Norman behind him.
Yeah, it's getting down to go time. I mean, 11 to go. You can't just make a move in 2 or 3 laps. You're going to have to, get that outside lane running. They're going to have to make a move with maybe, 8 to go. Just try and get some sort of momentum. Get people got together. Look at Malin on the apron.
Back in there, the 08 trying to make something to work. They're closing in on RJ Bishop. They're passing the 43, who has significant damage from that accident he had on that last caution. Looks like the whole pack will get by him with ease. Oh, and Malin and Allen really lost the pack there. They had to slow it down. Buchanan trying to work the outside now. Michael Norman trying to get some of the work there as well.
Oh,
and on the apron, Nick Gunther got forced down by Michael Norman. Gonna file behind him. Cole Baker gonna make a 3 wide.
Oh, look
Gonna
out.
stay on the inside. Buchanan right ahead of the 55, or should I say the 31. 55 and Nick Gunther is ahead of Zach Buchanan right now. Dylan Pote trying to push Buchanan to the race lead. I've not seen that outside lane work too well tonight. The only time it really worked was when Buchanan had all those guys helping him. You need about 4 guys to make that outside lane work.
There goes Malin out there with them.
Malin's going to do all he can to win this race, and I have a feeling he might do it. We're under 10 laps to go, coming to 9 laps to go here in NNSCRA Hallowdega. Who is going to win the 5th edition of this event?
Look at Miller poking out of line back there, trying to make some moves.
He's got a run on the inside of Corey Williams.
He's trying to get there with Malin, I have to assume.
So Corey Williams right behind that outside lane. Malin trying to help Poteet and Buchanan so he can get to the race lead. They have 4 guys, now have 5. That's David Alvarez back in there. We have not seen Alvarez this entire night. Number 68, right in the back of the field.
Kyle Keith.
Kyle Keith trying to do something. He's been quiet too. And the number 42 trying to work that outside lane.
Malin got down. How about
Malin
that?
got down again.
Right behind Miller now.
At some point, you got to imagine guys like Michael Norman and Nick Gunther trying to do something. Cole Baker's there in 5th. Tristan Allen, Andrew Miller. I think what Malin wants is to clear Kyle Keefe, so those 4 guys get in the line on the outside.
Car down to the inside. Charles Belding.
And an issue on the 28. We'll have to see if he gets back around. We'll follow with the race lead in the meantime.
Only 1 car, so no yellow. Still green.
They're still single file here, but they're trying to get something to work. Malin now on the outside. He's got help from Zach Buchanan and Dylan Poteet. And that's the car you want leading on the outside lane, but Malin cut right ahead of Tristan Allen right there. That was a bold move out of the number 08.
We're coming to 7 to go. Here he comes back to the outside of Cole Baker.
Oh, Baker almost got into him.
Yeah, they've not been playing nice. They've been hitting each other this whole race.
I don't think anyone has any friends anymore at this point of the race.
Malin's got something on the outside.
He's trying to work that outside lane. Nick Gunther's there. All he needs is someone to peek out ahead of him, and I think that line will move up. Michael Norman's looking. Doesn't look like he's going to make the move. Malin already has the corner panel on him. And Malin up to the 3rd position on the inside. Trying to get to the 2nd car.
He's getting a nice run.
He is. Got some help from Zach Buchanan. A lot of guys behind him now. It's Buchanan, Poteet, Allen, and Andrew Miller on the outside lane. Here comes Tyler Malin. He dominated this race. Had a penalty that took him to the end of the longest line. And now he's side by side for the race lead. Hartnett gonna make it 3 wide.
What a move.
Oh, he tried. He couldn't do it. Gonna stay behind Lemke, but Malin lost a little bit of momentum after that.
I think he broke the 64's momentum as well, though, because he had no help. So I think
he didn't. Malin getting the push on the outside lane.
Big push.
And he might clear to the inside.
There he is. He's clear. Can he come down?
Tyler Malin's going to stay with Zach Buchanan for now. Andrew Lemke, and a minute, I believe. He just lied a little bit. We're still good to go. Malin, however, has cleared. Lemke has fallen out of line. Now Buchanan in the wall. And then the Tristan Allen. And around. And upside down. Going Michael Norman in the 18. And a big wreck with 4 laps to go.
And they're racing it back around. They did not take the yellow flag yet.
No yellow called as of yet.
Here comes Poteet with Hartnett. Yellow flag is out. They're racing it back around.
So we are probably going to get a 1 or 2 lap restart to finish this race out. Tyler Malin back in the race lead. Emmanuel Hartnett, Dylan Poteet, and Andrew Miller, the top 4. Now I would imagine they're going to stay in line, but it looks like Hartnett's going to try to make a move here. Poteet's going to try. Poteet to the outside. Malin going to block. Poteet in the 31. No! Malin's got it at the line.
So we're at the point of return now. They're going to get green. And once we get the green, all bets are off.
So we will wait to review the accident until after the race because we do not want to miss the finish live. But a wild ride for Michael Norman. The number 18 was running in the top 5 pretty much this entire green flag run. And Zach Buchanan tried to make a move, got hit in the outside wall, came back down, and Norman went flying through the air.
Now we've kind of thinned the field out.
Andrew Miller still in this thing. He's going to be 3rd. And I would imagine Malin will take the inside with Miller right behind him. Dylan Poteet will be 2nd. Hartnett will be 4th. Lemke will be 5th. David Alvarez. This is the highest he has been all race long in 6th. Corey Williams, Zach Stoltz, Cole Baker, Michael Norman, is 10th after going airborne.
That's how it works here.
That has been a common theme here tonight. You go upside down, you continue on in the race. And I would imagine all these guys are going to stay out. Trying to fake each other out. Of course, a couple guys in the back are going to come down. Nick Gunther and Jessica Shelton. Like I mentioned, we will review the crash after the race is over. We do not want to miss the race finish live. And of course, we are limited with what we can do within our 2003. We can't tell these guys to stop. Of course, they are probably going to be one to go this time, I would imagine, which would leave us with a 2-lap to go shootout to the finish. Of course, there are no green-white checkers. This is NR 2003, which means that once the race is over, the race is over. Once we hit lap 94, that is it.
We'll get a quick interview in with this 1 lap.
User was moved to your channel.
Charles Belding, and I remember he had an issue earlier on. You did a great job. You had that accident. And you powered through there in the top 10 pretty much the entire race. What happened there at the end?
Well, okay, so I think like they just started stacking up, exiting the tri-oval. I slowed down, and then the driver behind me, Zachary Stoltz, he just did not slow down in time and hit the back of me hard enough to where I spun out, and then I pancaked the inside wall with the right side, but immediately after. But pretty much the moment I hit the wall, I knew my day was done, and then my crew chief or spotter then said, engine damage, you have oil leaking, so yeah. So that's what happened.
That's a tough break for you, but you had a great race here tonight. It was awesome to see you run that starburst scheme out there. Did a great job, and hope to see you again next year here in Hallowdega. Great job tonight, just unfortunately ended a little too early for you.
Yeah, I had fun, and that's all that mattered.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's something that's important to remember for all these guys. This is a special event. There aren't any points in the line, no championship involved. It's all for fun. I don't know if these guys know that right now, but, hey, we're in store for a good one here, aren't we, Joe?
Oh, yeah. We're coming back green. That last crash, there was no blame. It was a racing incident, so these drivers going to be all out. 2 laps to go. This is for the Hallowdega win in 2019.
Well, here we go. Tyler Mallon, Dylan Poteet on the front row. Andrew Miller and Emmanuel Hartnett in row number 2. Andrew Lemke and David Alvarez in row number 3. 2 laps to go in NNSCRA Hallowdega 2019.
Outside got hooked up. Those front 2 did. But look at Dylan Poteet trying to get the side draft.
Poteet's going to try to get that outside the work. He's going to file behind Mallon. That might be where you want to be to finish this race. You might want to be right behind him on the finish of this event, but that's going to open the door for Hartnett in this outside lane to get a run.
You're at the point of no return. Whatever happens, happens.
Here comes Miller with Poteet right behind Mallon. His front 3 are clear. Now they're side by side, 4th on back.
Hartnett not getting a run with David Alvarez. Zach Stoltz back in there trying to get something to work on the outside. They're not getting it quite yet. Here we go. White flag in the air. Here at Talladega, Tyler Mallon rallied from the back to get back to the race lead under that last green flag run. He takes the white flag in NNSCRA Hallowdega. Poteet's going to try on the outside. Could not get the run. Andrew Miller still behind him. When will they make the move on Tyler Mallon for this race victory?
I say you got to make it on the back stretch. You can't be waiting. I say you got to make it now. Off turn 2 and down the back.
Here comes Andrew Lemke doing all he can, but nobody's up there to help him. Poteet in the 31, all over the back bumper of Tyler Mallon. Coming to the checkered flag here in NNSCRA Hallowdega. They're all in a single file line. They can't get any run. Mallon continuing the lead off of turn number 4.
He's looking, he's good.
Poteet's going to try on the inside. Couldn't do it. He gets loose. He's through the grass. Tyler Mallon, a dominating performance, is going to win the 2019 Hallowdega Special Event.
Oh, Carp's down the line, but Tyler Mallon wins.
And a huge wreck to end this race. Nick Gunther on his side. Carson Gum around, and Cole Baker destroyed in the number 11.
We had a car completely up and over at the start-finish line that literally crossed the line upside down.
Tyler Mallon puts on a dominating performance and gets redemption from last year's unfortunate event. He's your winner here in Hallowdega 2019, Tyler Mallon. Led over half of this race, I do believe, and he's going to burn it down in the number 08 machine. Of course, we have 2 wrecks to review, but nobody can get to the 08. He rallied through the field and came home with the race victory here tonight at Talladega.
That was an amazing save by Dylan Poteet.
And how about Napa, your pick 1?
I know my stuff. Tyler Mallon burning it down here at Talladega. He's your winner in the NNSCRA Hallowdega special event for 2019.
And Andrew tried at the end. You saw how close he came. He was within a car length of winning, but just a little too late. But what a crazy ending. It was Cole Baker that ended up on his lid there at the start-finish line.
So we're going to follow here on the first accident. Michael Norman, who went around.
And almost upside down. I believe there was contact with the 4 in the 08 that set off that accident to set up this late race restart.
Right there. He got airborne. We'll get a better review of that one. This was just before, I think 5 laps to go. They were coming to 5 laps to go when this occurred. And we're going to slow it down for you. Zach Buchanan tried to make a move on Tyler Mallon, came back up, and I think Poteet clipped him just a little bit. And he got sandwiched. Lost a lot of grip there, hit the outside wall, came back down into Tristan Allen. And he just clipped Michael Norman enough to spin him around, and he caught some air right there over Tristan Allen. Nick Gunther going around as well. Some wild stuff right there out of Michael Norman there. There he crossed the start-finish line. And
that wasn't the end of it.
And then at the end of the race,
yeah, Cole Baker upside down. You had Nick Gunther upside down.
We'll replay this last lap for you guys here, but Tyler Mallon was able to hold on. It was back in here. Forget who initially went around. I know someone. It was Nick Gunther. Nick Gunther ended up riding the wall at the end of this one, number 55. We're going to focus with him as they're coming to the checkered flag.
Yeah, you had Gunther, you had Carson Gum.
Hey, wake up.
You had the 4, Zach Buchanan, Cole Baker, all involved in that at the end. All of them, though, crossed the start-finish line. Cole Baker ended up on his lid the start-finish line, got 11th out of it. So.
And I think I was ahead of this. Gunther. Yeah, he just got a little too close for comfort, got in the Carson Gum, and he rode the wall on the driver's side. And went down the racetrack. Carson Gum also around there, and Cole Baker with heavy damage. It was a wild final lap there. And it was Baker, and I think Poteet came up. Michael Norman tried to avoid, and right there, wow, I didn't see that.
Yeah.
Cole Baker spinning around, Zach Buchanan in the inside wall hard. Manuel Hartnett going around. So much carnage happening there on the final lap, but they could not get to Tyler Mallon. Miller had a shot. I think we might be getting Miller in here for an interview here soon.
Yeah, we'll be getting Mallon in first, though. I believe we'll be getting him in right now, actually.
Yeah,
so.
Tyler Mallon. How about that one? You got some redemption from last year, didn't you? How about that rally to get to the race lead, my man?
Oh my goodness, that was... Oh, I'm still out of breath, I'm sorry. That was so amazing. I wanted that...
left your channel.
Oh, okay. I wanted that so bad after what happened last year on pit road. That was... Oh, I'm sorry to the 31 first off that we bumper grabbed down to the apron. That was not at all what was supposed to happen there. But he probably, oh my goodness. I'm sorry. All right. It was throughout the race. There was definitely a lot of strategy calls throughout each team room, probably. It was, you had to take left side tires wore more than right side tires throughout the race. So at the beginning, you had to take left side tires only, really, in order to stay competitive. And after that, we somehow won the second stage, I guess. And then that wreck with me and the 43. What happened there? I don't even remember what happened there. Oh, yeah, I don't know, but wow.
It was wild. Obviously, Tyler Mellon speechless after that one, but still, I was wondering what was going through your mind when you got that penalty for crossing the double yellow line there. Did you think your race was over after that penalty occurred?
Honestly, no. It was about mid-race, right? So I knew I had enough time to maybe get back up there, work with a few people to get back up there. Know for sure. I didn't know for sure if it was over or not.
I actually also want to know, at one point in the race, you were on pit road right behind Rob Evans. And, of course, that's what happened last year. You and Rob Evans warped into each other. I mean, every time coming down pit road, were you maybe just a little bit more cautious and, like, looking around, just trying to be like, please, no one come into me this time? Like,
Yeah, definitely. I saw Rob up there. I was like, oh, God, Rob, you're awesome, but please don't warp into me again. And then there were a couple warp wrecks, I think, throughout the race, but I don't think I got involved in any of those.
Well, either way, man, congratulations on your race victory. That was fun to see. You obviously know what you're doing out there, and you earned that one. And I think you might have to thank Andrew Miller for that one. We'll have him in here in a minute. But
yeah, definitely.
But congratulations on your race victory here tonight. Go ahead and celebrate. That one was definitely well-earned. Tyler Mallon, your race winner here tonight in the 2019 edition of the NNSCRA Hallowdega special event.
Thank you.
all right.
And also thank you to Andrew. Sorry.
You gotta thank him, man. That's Tyler Mallon, race winner here, and you see the official standings right there. Tyler Mallon, the race winner, Andrew Miller, Corey Williams, Andrew Lemke, and Emmanuel Hartnett, the top 5, and I believe we have...
User was moved to your channel.
It's Andrew Miller with us, I do believe.
Phil Parker.
Phil Parker. I don't have it have it blocked. But anyway, Phil Parker, you ended up finishing 19th. Didn't really see much of you in this race, but what did you see out there ahead of you in that wild event?
I saw chaos, absolute pure chaos, and part of me did not like it, and part of me loved it.
It was definitely a wild race for a lot of guys. I know you were involved in a couple of wrecks. It wasn't as wild as it was last year, thankfully, but still, a lot happened out there, and pretty much everyone was involved in something. But still a great run. Great to see you were able to finish the race. Unfortunately, not many people were able to do that. What do you think you could have done differently to maybe be up there in contention for the race win?
Well, if I had not wrecked on that second wreck I was involved in, I think I might have had a better shot. But I want to thank my guys for giving me such a good car. It's such a shame that we got destroyed running for a good cause and all. But I will take a good thing out of this. Last year, we had a good car, but I ended up getting into people, and that's what got me out of the race. And, well, this year, at least I finished the race. So, I mean, I got to take that as a plus. Next year, I'm going for the win now. That is for sure.
All right, well, hope to see you up front in next year's event. Good luck on that, and thank you so much for being a part of this one. We greatly appreciate it, and hope you all had fun out there driving the number 24 machine for breast cancer awareness. It's a great cause right there, but thank you so much for joining us, man, and good luck on next year's Hallowdega special event.
Not a problem. Hope you all enjoyed the show.
All right, now we'll get runner-up in.
Andrew Miller, this is one I really want to talk to here. Andrew Miller, man, you almost had it, but obviously you were helping your guy out there in Tyler Mallon. You had a great race. I don't think you finished this last year, but you were able to finish second. How was it out there? I'm sure you had a blast.
All I could say is, yes!
And he didn't even win, folks.
No, I didn't. I did finish last year, but a lap down in 16th. That much I know. Last year was to be up there with a shot and to bring it home second, even if I was going to finish third behind Poteet, I would have been perfectly content with that. I am so thrilled with how that race went for me. There's nothing that's going to take that away from me unless they see that I did something wrong somehow, but I don't see that happening. But you never know. But for right now, second is second, and come on, yeah.
Well, I say you get MVP for the race because you helped a ton of people move forward. You were probably the best pusher I saw during the race.
I was doing my best, but at the end of the day, I'm not gonna lie. All that pushing was fairly selfish stuff because I knew that would help me out. If Tyler and everybody that I helped that race, if you're watching this, I'm sorry, but that was all for me.
Well, congratulations on your second place run, my man. I know we were talking yesterday, we recorded a race together, offline race together, and I know you were excited about this one, and I'm glad you got a good run, definitely fulfilled your expectations. But either way, congratulations on the second place run, man. Great to see you run up front. I think a lot of guys are rooting for you, a lot of our guys on our end here in the NNSCRA and NIRA, but congratulations on your great run, and hopefully we'll see you next year for this event, and maybe even in Victory Lane next year.
That'd be pretty darn cool. Really quick though, I just want to say shout out to Haley, I love you, and to Optimus, Zeno, Andy, you guys are awesome. I hope that you guys saw that. That's for you guys. Y'all are great.
Andrew Miller, number 47, runner-up here today. I think that's the happiest runner-up I have seen in quite some time. We'll get some more guys in here, do a few interviews here on the post-race show from Hallowdega in NNSCRA Hallowdega. Take one last look at the official standings.
User was moved to your
Tyler Mallon,
Here's your
race winner
favorite
here
person,
tonight.
your favorite paint scheme, Napa.
And we got Carter Friesen in the
You don't
booth
like
with
those
us. Finished 10th. He actually had a really topsy-turvy race here, and I want to ask, what exactly happened at the beginning there? Because I realized you were a lap down early on. What all happened there at the beginning of the race?
So basically, my game froze, and I had no control over my car. I also ended up moving out of the TeamSpeak channel by accident, so I was trying to get in, and my car just decided to take off into everybody. So I apologize for that. Doesn't look like anybody got screwed over too much by that, so I ended up parking myself on pit road for a lap just because I felt bad, but I was able to get it back from that first caution that we had early on, so that was nice. Yeah, I want to apologize to those people that got involved in that. That was definitely my fault, but also my computer's fault, I guess, technically. So yeah.
Well,
Joe
either way, you had a great run at the end, ended up finishing 10th. Of course, that might be part to that wreck that we had at the end there, but still, congratulations on the
right
top
paint
10.
Scheme, you would have gotten a better result.
You know what? I'm going to say it one more time. I cannot stand that the number was on the quarter panel. All right.
Fine.
But you know what? It's all right. It's all right. You know, still my friend. All right. We will always be friends.
Okay.
Top 10 run there for Carter Friesen. Great to have you in the race, of course, and great to see you compete out there as well. Had a couple laps as well, but great run for Carter Friesen, finishing 10th here tonight in NNSCRA Hallowdega.
No, don't get rid of me.
Don't worry, we'll talk again some other time. Probably next year.
Probably, if there is a race next year. Hopefully there is. But just want to thank Seth for putting on a good show tonight. As much as I didn't really agree with the finish there, I looked at it after and it was clean. So that was mostly clean. Yeah. Good win, Tyler. I love you. No homo.
Alright, well, congratulations on your 10th place finish, man, and have a good night. We definitely appreciate you joining us here for the Hallowdega special event.
Thanks, you too.
All right, let's go get the person that tried to do the Ryan Newman on the front stretch.
It's
No,
Michael Norman. Yeah, that one.
User
Oh,
left
yeah, a
your
lot of people
channel.
want to talk to you. We actually got that live as you flipped throughout the start-finish line. You still finished 6th after all that, but what were you thinking when you were going through the air there near the end?
Well, actually, to be honest, I had no idea what was happening because we were just racing through the trial. Well, I was kind of stuck in the middle, getting ready to try to move down to the inside if I could get a good enough open. And next thing I know, I didn't even see the contact that started that wreck. I just suddenly was like, oh, hey, look, there's a car. And then next thing I knew, I was backwards, almost flying in midair. So that was crazy.
Tried your
Very
best
crazy.
Ryan Newman reenactment.
Yeah.
You
Almost.
still had a really good run here tonight. You were in the top 5 pretty much all this race. Do you think you could have done anything a little bit differently to get around Tyler Mallon in this one?
For me, Tyler, I mean, he was pinching a lot. He was acting as if side draft was a thing, and I was really hoping he would try that with me because I wasn't going to give him an inch on that. But to get around him, I wish I was further up front because Dylan just had no help. The only help he had was Corey in 5th place, and then I was behind them. But it was just crazy. I wish I could have gone up there to help him more, but between my game crashing and then the wreck that happened, that thank God I didn't get any damage out of. It was just one crazy night.
It was, but still a great run. Congratulations on your top 10 run there, and hey, hopefully you can have this again next year, and you can be back and contend for the race victory again. But Michael Norman, 6th place run, great run, and glad to have you part of the event here this year.
Thanks, man. And Napa, when you finish up here, I want to talk to you about something.
All right, I'll be up for that. Michael Norman
Alrighty.
finishing 6th here tonight in Hallowdega. Have a good night, man.
You guys have a great night too.
User left your channel.
All right, let's get Andrew Lemke in here.
User was moved to your
And Andrew
channel.
Lemke finishing in the 4th position. He led 16 laps here tonight. Very good run for him, but unfortunately cannot hold off Tyler Mallon. But what do you think of the race you had here tonight? Definitely a good show for you.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, that was a lot of insanity there. I mean,
User was moved to your channel.
I mean, just like starting out, all the wrecks and whatnot, just trying to survive everything. And I mean, there's, I think I got collected 2 or 3 times, and I'm wondering, man, I don't know if I'll be able to hold on to the end, but I never got any rear damage or engine damage, which helped. So yeah, so losing at one point in the race, I was leading, and I had Andrew Miller pushing me, and man, that guy, I really like him a lot. He's a good guy and great pusher, and I think I moved up a little bit too much, and that caused him to move up a groove. And once I lost him, I'm like, yeah, if Mallon gets back up here, I don't know how much of a chance I got.
Well, it's still a really good run for you there. And you didn't really have many friends out there. We know that all of those other guys were kind of helping each other out, and you were kind of on your own, but you definitely stayed strong around them and led 16 laps in the process. But congratulations on your top 5 run. I would definitely be happy with that run in a race like this, and I definitely think you
For
earned it.
sure. And thank you very much, and give a little bit of a shout out to MRD Designs for helping me out with the paint scheme tonight, and I did the best that I could, given the circumstances in this race. It's a crazy race, you never know what's going to happen, and thanks for interviewing me and whatnot. And I enjoyed your broadcast, which I'm not saying I was looking at it while driving, but I'd take a glance down there just to see where I was and see myself on the TV, I mean the phone.
Well, hey, glad you enjoyed. Thank you very much for being part of this year's Hallowdega special thing. I think everyone in NNSCRA definitely appreciates it, and we had a blast watching you out there leading this race and making all those moves for the race lead. But congratulations on your good run, and good luck on next time we have Hallowdega here from Talladega.
All right, have a good.
You too.
All right, Tristan Allen, it's your turn.
And Tristan Allen.
User
Up and
left your
down
channel.
for Tristan Allen. Ended up finishing 15. I believe he was involved in that accident at the end. I can't quite remember if you were or not. But 2 speeding penalties. I know that hurt you a little bit, but you still had a great run regardless. If you didn't have those speeding penalties, you think you would have had something for Tyler Mallon at the end?
I don't know if I would have had something with Tyler, but I felt like I definitely could have gotten the top 5 finish where I was running for majority of the race. But yeah, like you said, the entire race was just up and down. I hit the wall in my qualifying run, which put me starting in 22nd in the race. So I had to make my way through the field for the first of many times in the night early on. And it was just the speeding penalties. Nothing came up on the dash. It's just I got penalties each time. I don't know how, but I did. So I dealt with the punches and almost got another top 5.
Yeah, still a good run regardless. I think finishing in the lead lap in this race is definitely an accomplishment, but great to see you out there running well. And hey, as always, next time, and I think you'll probably get one of these sometime. Great driver in Tristan Allen. But thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for being part of this year's Hallowdega special event.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Hey, you want Roger Ray to do a text interview?
Yeah, we got Roger Ray, and of course he doesn't talk. So
all right, hold on. Let's get him in here.
We'll read what he
User
says
left your
here. We'll
channel.
read what he
User
says.
was moved to your channel.
He's gonna put it in our chat, and we'll tell you what he said. Hey, wasn't expecting that. We're gonna read everything he says. Just to let you know, we're gonna read everything he says.
He'll probably talk about his grip flip.
Yeah, that was a unique moment. I'm gonna ask you. So how in the world did you flip upside down like that? You were all by yourself, and all of a sudden you just did a barrel roll. You still got 13th, great run. But
okay.
How about that for you? That definitely was a big surprise, I would imagine. Lawson on the brakes, trying to slow down for the wreck, and got sideways. Interesting. And he locked him up. He locked the brakes up and sent him upside down and around. And the apron was gripped too. We didn't know that while doing this.
They must have run the tire drag and the PJ1 down there.
Yeah. They had a lot of grip down on the apron and probably caught the tires and just sent them upside down. But either way, still a good run for you. Didn't run up front too much, but...
But he did his paint scheme justice because he did have the Clover car.
Ran that Pontiac out there. Great scheme, no doubt about it. And finishing 13th, a great run regardless after all that happened. Definitely be proud of that one. And thank you so much for joining us, Roger, up here, technically, and in the race as well. We definitely appreciate you being part of this year's Hallowdega special event.
All right. I'll hopefully have more time up front next year. Well, he had a lot last year.
We hope so.
Yeah.
We hope so.
All right, let's get Dylan Poteet in here because I'm sure he has a lot to say after the last lap.
Dylan Poteet finishing in
User
9th.
was moved to your channel.
And you were up there at the end and then got spun around
User
at the
left your
end, I
channel.
do believe. I can't remember if you were involved or not, but I know you were one of those guys running up front. You finished your 3rd before the green flag flew at the end. But unfortunately could not come up with the race victory. What happened up there? What was your perspective of all that going on?
Well, just after the last wreck happened, I was working with Zach. He was one of my drafting partners for most of that race. Just got caught up in that wreck with Malin there, and whenever we were coming back, I just kind of noticed like who was up there. It was the 08, the 47. They'd been working together pretty much the entire race, and how it lined up. I was on the outside, and I was like, well, I'm either going to get help from the 83, or I'm going to try to find a way to get down, which I was able to find a spot. And I was kind of like out on an island at that point because I wanted to make a move on the outside, but the 47 I didn't think was committed to going with me because he had worked with Malin all race. So I felt like I was kind of in a bind what I could do on the last lap, and I tried to trail break it right there and tried to get a run on Malin, and I got under him, but like I said, we just bumper grabbed and shot me down, and that was it for me, basically.
And nonetheless, still a great run for you. You had a chance, I think, of getting towards Malin. You had one of the better race cars in this race, finishing 9th, even after that wreck there. But still, great to have you in this year's Hallowdega special event. Hope to see you next year. Yeah, good job on that 9th place finish. You had a great night, I'll tell you that much, and you did so much better than I could ever do, so I'll just tell you that much.
All right, thank you, guys.
You're very welcome. Have a good night.
All right, you too.
All right, let's get the man, the myth, the legend
User
in here.
left your channel. User was moved to your channel.
And the guy who ran it.
First
of all, I gotta thank you so much for letting me do this race again, man. I had a blast. Joe had a blast. Chris had a blast. We all appreciate you putting this on for us, Seth, and yeah, we couldn't thank you enough for it. But either way, yeah, we didn't really see him much in that race. What was going on back in there? I mean, I know you got involved early on, and just didn't really see him much at the end.
Yeah, I mean, early on, I think like in the first 2 wrecks,
while on the brakes, ran into the back of somebody that was in front of me. It gave just enough aero damage where you had to be in the draft and have someone behind you to be competitive. I think like near the end of stage 2, I was the last car in the pack, and so with no one behind me, I lost the draft. So got into the 3rd stage. I was able to keep up there with the group, and then on the final restart, I think I checked up, trying not to run to the back of the 74, and lost the draft again. So we were just fighting aero damage the whole race, but I don't honestly know if we would have been all that competitive even without the aero damage, because my big problem was I was trying to figure out how to get the run with cars behind me, and I wasn't timing it correctly. So, not the finish that we were looking for, but based off the fact that the car wasn't completely up to full song to at least finish the race was a kind of an achievement.
18th place finish there, not too bad considering all that happened here tonight. But I
You
think
did
we
have
all-
a lot on your plate. You were racing, calling the race. You were,
I mean, I got all the penalties listed here. There's a lot of them. Let's just say that. There's a lot of them were just speeding in the pits. I don't think you controlled all of those, but still, it was a wild night out there, and I don't know how you do it, man, but we are all very appreciative of you putting this on for us, and once again, thank you so much for letting me call this race. Had a blast doing it once again. And I hope hopefully we can do this next year, and someone does it next year and I get to call it again, or someone. It's a great event that you put on, and I can't thank you enough for putting it on.
Yeah, we would love to have you guys. If we do this in 2020, we'd certainly love to have you guys. Really appreciate you guys doing it too. I mean, I know you guys say that it's a privilege for you to do it, but it's a privilege for me as well to have you guys calling it, because not a lot of races that go on that I've hosted usually get broadcasted, but this one's kind of been the longest one that I've had that's come back year after year. People keep wanting me to bring it back, and so the fact it gets this kind of recognition, you guys do such a great job broadcasting, really means a lot. So I really appreciate it.
Well, I will say we had consistently 35 to 40 viewers tonight, so it was truly watched greatly.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so people obviously love this event. So yeah, if you can bring it back next year, I definitely would love to see it back. Even though I'm not racing, I love calling it. It's so much fun to do. But thank you so much, man. Congratulations on a successful event once again, and thank you once again for just putting this all on for all of us.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Thanks,
You're
Seth.
very welcome.
All right, we got a few more that are kind of
User
up
left
here.
your channel.
Got Rob Evans that wants an interview.
This will be interesting.
User was moved to your channel.
And Rob Evans, who wrecked out early on. You were running in the draft the majority of that race without any rear bumper. How did you do it out there?
Yeah, we had some pretty unfortunate luck there early on. Maybe a little bit too aggressive for us, but being it's a non-points race, we figured to give it our all. There's no points or playoff spots on the line or anything, so we gave it our all and kind of just got caught up there. I went back and looked at it, and it looked like the 20 just got up into us, but that's racing, so I mean, we ran top 5 without a rear bumper. We were massively slow towards the beginning there when we were running up front. I just dashed off to the side because those guys were so much faster than me, but we finished a solid 20th. Not as good as last year's 4th place, but we'll take it. So just got to thank my sponsors. Got local Heritage Distilling. Check them out at heritagedistilling.com. Offer brown sugar bourbon, a whole bunch of other stuff, but we just did our best and came up short.
Still, it was a successful event in my opinion, and great to see you back in this race again. And hey, maybe next year you'll maybe get in victory lane. A great run for you, and thank you so much for being part of it once again.
Thank you for doing the broadcast.
You're
You
very
guys have
welcome.
been doing a great job. Anyways, thank you guys.
You're very welcome, man. Have a great night.
You too.
That was Rob Evans finishing in the
User
20th
left your
position.
channel.
And
User was moved
That was
to your
quicker than
channel.
Matthew Rodriguez
I
in number
really shouldn't
57.
say
You had a wild race. I know that much. You actually retired pretty early, but I do remember that one time you lost it trying to avoid Cole Baker, almost flipping upside down. Hit the inside, came back up, and got into Levi McIntyre. What exactly happened in that situation?
I believe, oh right, that wreck. Sorry, I've been in a lot of them. That one,
I remember seeing Cole just turn sideways straight in front of me, like, all right, well, at least I got a good shot. Let me try to go for pit road. Well, the 64 decided to spin in front of me as well. I was like, all right, well, at least I still got a little bit of room. And then Jess decided to turn left as well. I was like, oh, there's not enough room. And that's when I ended up plowing into, I believe it was Jess, then the wall, and then backing into the 99, which was unfortunate. You know, come to think about it, I flipped a few times tonight.
A lot of people did, actually, and still continued on, but...
I'm not sure what happened with Phil's, he was going straight in the corner for a moment, and then he just kind of turned 90 degrees and took us all out.
We saw that one happen, and we believe that it was some sort of a connection issue that sent him around, because he was going straight, and then it just whipped right around and caused one of the cautions we had here tonight. But either way, so great to have you in this one. And hope to see you again next year here in Hallowdega.
Yeah, the car ran like a garbage truck, but hell, it still ran.
Yeah, it did.
It's not very fast, but thank you.
You're very welcome. Have a great night, man.
You as well.
User left your channel.
All right, got another one.
User was moved to your channel.
And I believe this is Nick Gunther. Am I correct about that?
You are correct, sir.
All right. Didn't actually have your full name on there, but still, you had a wild ride at the end of that one, riding the wall across the start-finish line, but you were running up front a majority of this race. What were you thinking of trying to do if you had a shot at Tyler Mallon there at the end?
Well, here's the thing, though. Nobody really wanted to go anywhere. I mean, you could probably see me try to fake to the outside like almost all the race, trying to make some moves instead of just being a single file train, but nobody wanted to go.
Yeah, we saw that. There was a lot more single file in this year's race than there was last year. And in a way, that's a good thing to have near as many wrecks. But still ended up in a wreck at the end of that race. Still a good run nonetheless. And what do you think you're going to do to try to win this thing next year?
Well, I don't know. 2 years ago, I was pretty lucky with a bunch of aero damage. Last year, I got involved in an early wreck, and this year, I got involved in a late race wreck, like multiple times, and just didn't seem to get any progress afterwards. So, plate racing to me is just nothing but chance and friendship. If you have a lot of friends, like in the community, you're gonna have a lot of help, and if you don't, you're kind of like me. You're kind of screwed. So, I don't think I'm gonna have any chance of winning unless Lady Luck has to, put a smile on her face for me.
And you never know what happens in this event. Of course, it's Talladega. Anything is possible. So who knows? Maybe next year you will be in Victory Lane for the 2020 edition. But either way, thank you so much for being part of it this year. Thank you for joining us here at the end, and have a great rest of your night.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you very much. Have a good night.
Very welcome.
All right, we've hit a little bit of a brick wall with interviews right now.
Is this the part where I walk away?
I believe so. It's all right.
Okay.
Thank you for joining us, though.
User left your channel.
What do I do with my hands? Yeah, right now.
Might be it.
Trying to get who we didn't do, but that's we've done so many. It's so hard to remember.
Well, is there anyone asking you?
No one is asking.
All
I did
right.
ask someone. I did ask Hartnett. We'll see if he replies. Because he did finish 5th.
Is Hartnett still in?
Yes.
Ah, yes.
But no response. He may be the final one if he responds. If not, then we're done.
All right, well, we'll wait just a minute for him here. But either way, final thoughts on this race, Joe. It was wild out there.
Yeah, it was certainly wild, but it was different than what we saw. It wasn't as wild as we saw last year. It was a different kind of wild. They still raced hard, but we had some single file moments in the middle. Definitely kind of kept the race different, interesting, and it wasn't as wreck-festy as last year. And we had a good finish. Tyler Mallon got redemption from last year, came through the pack 2 times, and definitely deserved the win here tonight.
He did a great run out of Tyler Mallon. I was really impressed with the way he ran this race, coming through the field there after that penalty. But who knows? That penalty could have actually cost him the race win if he didn't make that rally. But he found his way through the field, and we could tell it was a little bit difficult to make moves out there. But still a great run out of Tyler Mallon. Definitely deserving of the race victory. He goes to Victory Lane here in the 2019 edition of Hallowdega.
And before we sign off, I've been told that I've skipped over someone accidentally. So here's third place Corey Williams.
We are very sorry.
User was
Yeah.
moved to your channel.
There we go.
We apologize for missing you, man. Corey Williams finishing third. You flipped like 5 times in this race and still got a top 3. I say that's a successful night, but how was it out there? It was pretty wild from your perspective.
We had a pretty good car all race, besides flipping, I think, twice maybe. Feel like a starting Parker though. Finished third, not get interviewed at the end, but you saved the best for last. This race, in my opinion, sucked. You got 5 guys up front. The rest of the field just doesn't know who to work with, and me, Zach, and Poteet just ran around and tried to do what we could and try to get people to go with us, and nobody wanted to go. And that works. And at the end of that thing, I mean, you saw what happened. Poteet got down on the bottom. I was 5th. I mean, like he said in his interview, if he'd have moved up, I would have went with him, but we'd both went and finished 15th and 30th, respectively.
And nonetheless, still a great run for you anyway. Third place after all that happened. Still a very successful night, and who knows what will happen next year. I mean, you always got guys that are working with each other out there, and hey, you might find someone next year.
Ain't no next year. I'm retired. I'm done. I'm retired.
Hey, you know what? With a third place run, I don't blame you. After that, it's a good way to retire. Good way to retire.
I don't know.
Anyway,
A lot of people say that.
So
And
much.
they keep coming back.
I think I'm done. Zach said he's done, and me and Zach started around the same time, and we've done this forever. And some of his boys have been here forever with us, and I gotta thank all the boys at Team SB, Eric. I gotta thank Brandon Guns, Louise, all them boys that ever gave me a shot to run on their teams. I gotta thank Seth for painting that beautiful peak antifreeze Mustang. It was on the rails, and I even flipped over and still finished third. So you seen that thing was bad fast. If we had full song, I think I could have beat the 08 by half a second. But yeah, I'm glad you guys got the broadcast. Seth told me y'all was broadcasting. I sent it out to people. I try to get people to watch, try to get them entertained. Like I said, you said the best for last on this interview. Also got to thank Michael. Michael was a guy working with us. Matthew Rodriguez, Cody Lamas, Austin Ogo. Got to thank all those boys for, they all wrecked early, but I got to thank them for trying to, help us get up there and try to win this thing tonight.
Well, it was great watching you out there. You definitely put on a good show, and I would like to let you know we had 40 viewers at one point for this race, so you helped them out.
Damn, 40?
Yeah, 40 people at one point. I was kind of near the end there, so we had a lot of people checking this out here tonight, and yeah, guys like you sending out, definitely
I'm gonna kiss all 40 of them in the mouth.
All right, but Corey Williams finishing third. Great run for him, and great to have you in this year's event here for Hallowdega 2019. Have a great night, man.
You too.
So yeah, with that.
Well, hold on.
Oh, we still have one more.
We might have one more.
From your channel.
Is this Hartnett?
It's maybe Hartnett.
All right, Emmanuel
User
Hartnett
was
finished
moved to your
in the
channel.
5th position, and you led the second most laps in this race. You had a shot, I think, near the end there, but kind of just lost it there. But what was your perspective of all the action that was going on up front?
Oh man, I mean, I'm smiling after that race, but it was nice leading with quite a few laps. But I'd like to thank Tyler for helping me and everybody else helping. But it was pretty wild. I saw a lot of wrecks out of my mirror, but I think we got the inside line on the final restart. I think we would have had a good shot at it, but I just got shuffled back, and it was too little too late.
Yeah, but still a great run nonetheless, finishing in the 5th position, and you were one of the few guys who were not involved in any of the wrecks, I don't believe, or at least majorly involved, but like 22 laps tonight. Definitely had a shot there, but couldn't get it done, but still great to have you part of this race again, and hopefully you'll have a good run next year here in the Hallowdega.
I'd like to say thank you to Seth for painting my car and putting on Hallowdegas, but it's a fun race. Thank you guys for commentating. It was fun to watch, and hope you guys do it again next year.
Yeah, I'm open to it. Are you, Joe?
Yep, I'm open to it.
Well, we're open if it goes on next year. We hope it does, and we thank everyone for letting us do this race next year. Emmanuel Hartnett finishing 5th here at Hallowdega 2019. Thank you so much.
Yeah, have a good night.
I think that ends it out.
That'll do it for Hallowdega 2019. I want to thank you, Joe, for joining me once again. You're one of the best co-commentators I work with, whether it be offline or online. Always have a blast doing races with you, and he did an awesome job again here tonight. I also want to thank Chris Dollichin as well. Unfortunately, he couldn't join us for the whole event. So with us at the first part, but he did a great job too. And of course, I'd like to thank Seth Cole and the whole NNSCRA sports team for letting us do this for them. It's just been a blast. It really has. Once again, a great race, a great turnout. We hope you all enjoyed the event. And yeah, I think that'll do it. So, on behalf of Joe Rutkowski, Chris Dollichin, Seth Cole, and the whole NNSCRA sports team, congratulations to Tyler Mallon, your winner in the 2019 Hallowdega special event here from Talladega. And we will see you guys hopefully next year right here, same time, same channel. Of course, it's a year from now. It'll be the Wednesday before Halloween, so hope you guys tune in for that. We're looking forward to it already for the 6th annual Hallowdega special event. Hopefully it goes on next year right here. But on that note, we'll leave you with a good night. Have a great night. And the World Series is going on too. You might want to check that out. You thought this was good? Maybe you want to check that out. It's a Game 7. But either way, happy Halloween, all you guys watching out there. Thank you so much to Joe, Chris, and Seth for putting this on. And, yeah, it's been Napa Fan. Thank you guys so much for watching. And I will see you guys later.